All right, guys, welcome back to Flying Moose channel, and we are here with the 787 from QualityWings, which still sounds like it's running for some reason. I thought I turned the. Why do I hear myself? Ah, that's what. Oops. Nope, that's fine. Do that. Do that. There we go. All right, sorry, I had the video of myself on somewhere. Okay, why do I still hear engine sounds? I shut the engines off, methought. I'm trying to get this thing to cold and dark, and I'm not sure where the option is to, so I was just turning stuff off, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the engines are off, so I'm not sure what I'm hearing running, because the APU is also off, so that's a bit. There we go. Okay, sometimes you just gotta get a little pause thing to the sim. I hate that about flight sim. Sometimes it hangs on to the sound. Okay, let's see who we got here in chat. I missed the first part of chat because my restream thing was like reloading or something. So I see the Tim's here. Gemini Jets is here. David Tolliday, yes. Tim, of course. I think I already said that. Mark is here. Good to see you, man. Parth is here. Downfall Series Parodies, hello. And let's see, anybody else? Oh, Sherry Carlson, hey, how's it going? Haven't seen you in a while. Good to have you back. And haven't seen Baxter Cat yet. And Nightbot's here, of course. And there we go. Okay. All right. No, it wasn't online traffic. I'm not on VATSIM today because we're just going to be playing around with this thing and learn this. So I'm not going to go on to VATSIM and make that nonsense. So, all right. I didn't ignore you. I said your name. Calm down. Um, that's my roommate, by the way, so I can harass him. It's okay. All right. Say happy birthday to Jets. Oh, is Gemini Jets? Is it your birthday? That might have been part of the text that I missed because my restream was reloading. So, all right. So we are here today with the 787, and just bought this yesterday. It just came out. It's been out for a while for FSX. It just came out for P3DV4 yesterday. It hit, and so I decided why not. I actually got my second YouTube check for like $109. So thank you for you guys who subscribe to the channel. That's a combination of ad revenue and donations and things like that. They wait till it hits over 100 before they cut the check. So that's my second I've gotten since I started doing this live streaming stuff. And so I threw that money right back into the sim like I promised I would do. And we bought this little gem. So we're going to just play around with this today, learn it. I haven't touched it yet. I literally loaded it last night and just ran the engines up and down just to hear the sounds, which sounds really cool. And that was it. Oh yeah, we need to get TeamSpeak going here. Let me do that. Thank you, Tim, for that little reminder. And let me move this over here. If you want to join TeamSpeak, you can do so. Type in !TeamSpeak and it'll give you all the details you need to do that. Do that. And there we go. Okay, I'm in the live stream room 3. So if you guys want to join on TeamSpeak, you can do so. It does not look like a 747, and doesn't say it is a 747 in the video description. So I know because I just updated it, or at least a little while ago anyway. So I don't know anything about this plane. I literally, like I said, just installed it last night. We're not going anywhere today. We're gonna fly it around. If we can get it off the ground, we'll find out. Just around this airport. This, by the way, is Fresno. Welcome to Fresno, big old Fresno Yosemite International Airport. So international. Um, Beautiful kind of defaulty scenery with a mix of Orbex stuff thrown in there. It's a bit cloudy. I don't think it's quite that cloudy today, actually. Uh, it seems a bit excessive. The cloud. Well, I guess in this direction it's about realistic. So we must have clouds coming in from the west. I can't see west because my window faces east. So maybe we do have clouds over there. I haven't even seen. Anyway, so we are here. Let me change my. Oh, that's not going to do anything. There we go. I don't even have my views set up yet, so we're going to do that today. I'm going to show you how I do that on chase plane with a new aircraft. And so we're actually going to do that first because before we get in an airplane and do anything, it's important to have your views set how you need them to do. Yeah, there's no route today. I mean, you can search route. It's going to show you the route from before. So there is no route because we're not flying a route. This is where is the FedEx plane? Why would there be a FedEx plane? Okay. So let's look at our views. I'm going to open up Chase Plane here for you guys so you can see what this looks like. So here is Chase Plane. This is what I use for my views, in case you were not aware. And so what we're going to do is we're going to set up a couple presets. So we have onboard, outside, and static. This is like airport cams and stuff like that. I don't really ever use these in the stream. Um, primarily, obviously this one, and then a little bit of the outside ones. And so I've got a number of kind of static shots I like to set up, and then I can always add more if I need to. But so we'll see. Hey, Baxter Cat, you're finally here. All right, there have been people that miss you. Apparently, they like you more than me, and they just weep when you're not around. So I'm glad you're back. We are, by the way, just so you know, we are live on Twitch now as well. So I'm starting to stream over to Twitch in as well as YouTube. So if you want to catch me over there, it's twitch.tv/Mustafa because the Flying Moose was already taken by somebody. And so we are Mustafa on Twitch. If you want to start looking at the Twitch side of things, you can do so. We're actually streaming to both. The chat comes from both and goes back to both. So you should be able to see what's going on still. But yeah, so check us out on Twitch. I've been watching a guy named Chili Willies over there doing some flight sim stuff. You can give him some views and some love over there too. He does a great job. Streamer up in also in Pacific time zone. He's up in the Pacific Northwest in Washington. He is going to be at Flight Sim Con as well, or Flight Sim Expo rather. Flight Sim Con is going to be like a four-letter word here. Um, I'm not going to Flight Sim Con, just Flight Sim Expo. That's the one in Vegas, and that's going to be the good one. The other one, I don't know what's going to happen with that. So let's get this set up. So I'm going to add a new view, and all we do is we give it a name. So I'm going to put it as Captain because this is the left-hand seat version. And I'm just going to name a few that I'm going to set up. So we have Captain, we have Overhead, and you can name these whatever you want, obviously, but this is how I do them. So then we have First Officer, and I usually do FMC, and let's see, Autopilot. Some of these are kind of superfluous. I don't really need them, but I set them anyway. And let's just do Cockpit. This will be kind of like a back view kind of thing. Again, the ones you'll see me use the most are these two guys, Captain and Overhead, and FMC. Those three are what I usually cycle between to actually run the sim. But he always nearly crashes every time you see. Are you talking about me or Chili Willies? Oh, okay. Well, that's sad. The last couple times I've watched him, he's done quite well. So I don't know. Time for shenanigans. Yeah, I bet. Usually working or sleep when he streams. Swedish time, you know. Yeah, I know. Well, it's good to see you, Sherry. Good to see you. Baxter Cat, was that evil shenanigans? Evil shenanigans. All right, so we're going to set our captain one first. We go over here to camera, and now we can mess with it. And as we change this around, you see that check mark just went green. That means it's waiting for me to save that view. So I'm actually going to move this out of the way so I can see what I'm doing here. And we're going to zoom this. We're in zoom point one, which I don't want to be on. I usually like to be around 0.7. That's usually a bit more normal. Yeah, that's good right there. Let's see. Let's pan it to 0 just to reset that. Those are 0. I'm going to tilt it to 0 and see what that looks like. It's probably going to be, yeah, no, not in a million years. So actually, that's a pretty good one right there for our view. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to hit that green check mark, and that now saves it. And then I'm also going to go back to the preset, right-click on Captain, and assign a key for it, which I use F1 for that. I have unmapped my other things, so that's why we can do that. And F1. So now if I move my view around and I hit F1, whoops, and I hit F1, there we go, I have to click on the screen first, it automatically moves my head back to that center position. So we're going to do the same thing for First Officer. And so I'm going to click on First Officer. And actually what I'm going to do to set this, because now I know how I want this set, actually, presets. Should have done that differently. Oh well. I'm going to copy the tilt because that's the only one that's not 0. So in the presets, we're going to go First Officer. And we're going to set the tilt to be that again. Paste. And we're going to set the zoom to be 0.7. Set the pan to 0. There we go. Okay. So now it's all kind of set the same as the captain, and now I'm just going to use the arrow key to move myself over to the first officer seat. And I'm just going to line myself up with the yoke there, so that's about centered where I think it should be. And I think that's, so yeah, it's lined up with the LG of my screen, so that's right about center. So that's good right there. So we're going to call that good. So we're going to save that one. And we're going to give him F3, because the overhead will be F2. And now we'll go to the overhead. The overhead we can do a little easier because we don't need it to be so lined up with everything. So we're just going to do 0.7. We're going to do, I don't care about the tilt. I'm going to center the pan for the moment. And so we're going to go center, like so. And then I'm just going to pan this sucker up. And then we're going to dip down a bit so we can see relatively. I'd like to be able to get the whole thing in there to be able to pan to it. So there we go. So that's good right there. So we're going to call that good. And we'll give him the F2 key. And now we got to do the FMC. So let's go over here to camera again. We're going to go 0.7. And the FMC is actually this big giant screen. It's actually two FMCs right here. You can't tell when it's off, but it's split down the middle. So this keypad controls this side, this keypad controls this side. And so I'm going to kind of just get close to this thing here. So we're nearby it. That looks good right there. And we will call that good. All right. How you doing, Tim and Mark in TeamSpeak? I see there.
Yeah, doing well, Moose. Flew my first checker today. That was fun. Did you update your Navigraph?
I did. I almost didn't remember, and then I was watching Chili stream, and he goes, "Hey, FYI, the new one came out today." I was like, "Oh, goody, I'll get that."
Don't forget the Aero data for
Yes.
PDX.
Yeah, I have not done that yet. I'll do that before we fly tomorrow. But yeah, for today, we're just flying around. It's nothing probably changed in Fresno. So, what did you say? You did your first what today, Tim?
First check ride.
Oh, check ride. Oh, cool. Did he
I
pass?
had somebody to jerk. Oh, yeah.
Oh, good. All right.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mark, how's it going?
It works.
It worked.
Congratulations, Tim, on that check ride.
Well, I was giving the check. I wasn't taking it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had the less stressful job. 7 in some ways, I guess. Let's get closer to that. So we'll get that close to do for the autopilot. And again, I don't.
The question is did it pass?
Yeah.
Did it pass the check ride?
The captain did, yeah.
Very good.
All right.
It got his transatlantic endorsement as well, so it was a twofer.
Oh, nice. All right. Autopilot we'll set as Control 1. And then we'll do the general cockpit one. And that will
You got no power on, right?
Correct. We are.
Take a quick look at the magnetic piston when you get a chance.
Yeah.
You got a light?
I don't think so. Well, I mean, not on right. I don't think it has one on right now. I think it's just the. I think that's reflections from outside, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the west is over there, so that would make sense. So I think we'll find out. You never know. This is the cockpit view, so I want to set that to 0.7. And then we're going to just kind of back out here. Get a nice, good view of the cockpit. Kind of like this is, this actually, you could call this jump seat. Actually, I'm going to put myself over here in this jump seat, I think, for this view. Well, maybe not. That's kind of behind that seat. That's kind of an awkward. That's kind of a cool shot, though, right there. We'll do that. All right, we'll call that good for that. And we'll call that Control 2. There we go. Put your hands up. I'll talk to Super. Oh boy. Baxter Cat and Downfall are added again. All right. So that is done. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some outside views because those are necessary as well, in my opinion. So I think I got to remember how to do that for the first one. There's a way. Oh, there we go. That's how you get to it. All right. So it's going to put us here to start, and that's not acceptable. So we're going to move ourselves forward slowly but surely. Basically, I'm going to create wing views like it would be for a passenger sitting in the aircraft. We'll create one at the nose so we can watch the nose wheel. That helps me when we're parking if the parking assistant is not using his stairs or is in the building for some reason having a coffee. And we'll create usually one focused on one of the engines. We'll create one focused on the fuselage, and we'll create a walk around one so I can walk around the aircraft. So this one, I think I'm going to take from the leading edge of the wing, get a little bit of the engine.
And next Thursday, Moose will demonstrate how to do the west wind paint job.
That's right. That's right. Actually, that's a good idea. I'd like to do that one of these times, is actually do a repaint on stream. It'll take a while, but I think it'd be kind of fun.
Well, I'd like to see you do it.
I bet a number of people would like to see it. So, all right. So that'll be the. You know what we didn't do? Hang on. So this is left wing. And yeah, I know.
Of the passengers.
I know, right? Little pictures there. There we go. So for those of you that are curious, I usually use 0.7 on the view for the cockpit, and I usually use 0.6 or so on the exterior views. I just feel that gives you a good. I mean, obviously, if you use one, the way the human eye works, I mean, you obviously have depth perception, but you also have peripheral vision, and so you can see a lot more. If you just use the 100% zoom, which would be 1, you end up looking like you're kind of a lot closer to something than you necessarily are. So by zooming out a little bit, not too much, because once you go too far, things start to fisheye and get really weird. You don't want that either. I watch some of these X-Plane streamers, and I don't know what it is. I think it must be the default way the camera is done, and they don't ever change it. And so it actually makes the cockpit look like it's at some weird angles going away and towards them because they're so zoomed out. And that's ridiculous. So if you get to that point, zoom back in. You've gone too far. But you also don't want to be, so close up to it that you can't see anything without panning all the way around. So I find 0.6 outside is a good compromise. 0.7 usually is a good compromise inside the cockpit. So if you're curious, that's what I'm doing.
Isn't there also a setting in 3D for that, for the fisheye?
There might be. I haven't played around with it enough to know.
Okay.
So we're going to save that one. I like that. That looks good there. And then we're going to go and let's see. I think I can just do that. Yeah, right wing. So this one, because this one has the engine on it, for the right wing, we are going to get the trailing edge. So I'm actually going to come down here. It's a cool looking wing. And yeah, there we go. Okay.
Now your eye point is outside of the fuselage, right?
Yeah, just ever so slightly. Because yeah, if I was in the fuselage, then we get this problem, and yeah, you don't want to do that. So yeah, I push myself just enough out of the fuselage. So if I actually turn too far, then it looks like I'm like in the wall. But I try not to do that in the stream without moving the eye point around first before I do that. Nice thing is once you get this set though, you can always just cycle back exactly to where you had it originally set by hitting the appropriate key. So I think that looks good there. So we'll assign that.
Yeah, those people on the inside of the airplane look like the cast from Con Air.
Yeah, they kind of do, don't they? Now I've got the Con Air music going through my head. Thanks.
It's a small world after all.
Yes. No, it's he's got the whole world in his hands, holding the doll. He's got the whole world. Good times. All right, let's go get our next view here. This is going to be the nose view, as I call it. And we're going to go up here. And basically, I just like to get kind of like almost like I'm looking into the cockpit from the nose. And so that way I can just easily tilt down and see where that nose wheel is right there. It's just kind of a fun little view.
Now, do you use the same default keys for your views on the 7.4 and the 7.3s?
Yes, so that way, and I do that for an obvious reason, so I always know what key is going to get me what view. So I set up the same standard views for all my aircraft. Their placement is a little different depending on the type of aircraft, obviously, but they all have the same basic function. So captain, first officer, overhead, FMS, autopilot or radio. It kind of depends on the airplane. Like in this airplane, the FMS will do the radios as well. So I don't need a radio specific view, but in like the 727, you'd need a radio view so you can easily go there if you needed to tune stuff because obviously you don't have an FMC to mess with. So, all right, so nose is set. Next one is going to be engine.
What was the price point on this? How much did you pay?
69, I think it was. 69 and change, something like that. So. All right, I'm just gonna kind of get a nice, cool little engine view here. That looks good right there. Assign key, Control Shift 4, and then we're gonna do a fuselage shot, and we'll do that on the other side of the aircraft. So we go through the aircraft. And since the engine shot was taken from the front, we'll do this one from behind and away. Again, this just gives kind of a variety of kind of nice little shots of the aircraft for exterior as some crazy motorcycle goes by outside.
Not that you looked at them, but how many manuals did you get with the airplane?
You get two. So it's not quite as detailed, obviously, as the PMDG. You get the user manual, which I've kind of glazed through just for a moment, like before the stream. From what I can tell, that is the kind of the everything they're going to tell you about the aircraft, describe the systems and kind of how they work and how everything. And then you get a tutorial manual. There's actually a repaint manual as well, but that doesn't have anything to do with running the aircraft. That's just painting it.
So it's not like the Captain Sim manuals that come with crayons.
No, it's a step up from Captain Sim, but it's a step down from TMDG. So we're kind of in the middle. This is the Goldilocks. It's just right in that sense. Although in my opinion, just right is the PMDG, but never mind. All right, that looks good for that. We'll call that assign key, Control Shift F5. And we're going to do a tail shot and then a walk around shot. 6, 7, yeah. Yeah, so the 747 actually has one extra view because of the largeness of the aircraft. I actually did a wingtip shot for that one, and so I actually have one extra. So whenever I fly the 747, you'll see me try to go to the walk around view and miss and end up going to like a wing view instead. And that's because I'm so used to walk around being the auto key.
Which cam function are you using?
This is Chase Plane by FSFX Packages. All right, this is going to be tail. Oh, did I just do what I think I did? Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, we're good. As you hover over these, sometimes it like changes the views if you're not careful. So, all right, assign key, Control Shift 6. And the last one's going to be the walk around one. And so I just put myself basically, actually for this, what I'll do, because this is my little trick to figure this out. So I'm going to call these guys just for the sake of getting them out here. Quest boarding. I don't care who it is. Just do it. All right. So you hear all the FX Dream, whatever their names are. The the people. Where's Juan? Oh, there he is. Are you? He's standing. Oh, he's close. All right. So this guy is almost standing on the ground. He's a little taller because he's standing on a little platform. But so I'll walk up to him and I'm just gonna move my eye point a little down to compensate for that. So now I'm roughly person size. And that's all I needed them for. So I'm going to send them away. Yeah, reset position. There you go. So now that I am roughly person size, I'm going to go station myself down here by the nose of the aircraft. And this is my walk around position. So this is where if I want to walk around the aircraft and pretend like I'm actually walking around the aircraft, this is where I will start from. So we'll do that. And this is called walk around. And we will set that to be Control Shift F, or Control Shift 7 rather. Okay, so now we have our basic views. So now I can easily cycle between all these views in the cockpit and move around really easily. Wing view. Whoops, why didn't that one work? I messed one up. Stand by. No, it's there. Control Shift 2. Did I? Oh, how did that happen? Oh, I must not have saved. Whoops. Did I do that with any of the other ones? Better make sure. Walk around, tail, fuselage. Oh, I did that with fuselage too. And engine. And no, I screwed a bunch of them up. Oh, dang nabbit. Okay. That's what I get for talking and doing this at the same time. Okay. Easily fixed because I'm already close to the position. So we're going to do that. I forgot to hit that little green check mark. That's important. All right. So engine now is over here. I focused more on the keystroke for assigning the view than I did the... All right. Engine check mark. There we go. Fuselage. That's this guy over yonder. Baxter Cat and Downfall are just going nuts in the chat. Cracks me up. All right. There we go. We'll do that. Oops. Save that view. And so tail got saved correctly. Walk around, thankfully got saved correctly. Nose, right wing, left wing. Good. Okay. So now, oops. Oh, I didn't do the right wing yet. That's right. Okay. That's right. Let's go see the Con Air people again. Okay. And check mark. Okay. Now we're good. This is the one thing I wish you could turn off on Chase Plane, and maybe you can, I just don't know how, is this how it moves the camera to the next spot so you fly through the airplane. EasyDock had the option where you could turn that off. So you could fly to your next position or you could just appear there. And in the cockpit, that's kind of cool to do that, where you can kind of look up. I mean, that's kind of cool. But you don't want to fly through the fuselage to look at the other side of the plane. That just seems weird to me. So if anyone knows
Yeah,
if
I'll tell you
that's...
a story about that in the real world.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'll let you get on with your stream before I tell it.
Well, go ahead. I'm gonna look at figuring out how to start this thing up right now. So go ahead and tell it, because...
Well, back in the day when I was flying with the Red Tail, what you were talking about, we had on the instructors panel for the flight simulator visual, we had reset and reposition. And reset killed the outside view.
Oh.
So it went black, and then when it came back on, you're at the end of the runway or at the gate or wherever you needed to be. But reset did not turn off the visual, so it just dashed wherever. You know, it's like when you slew your airplane.
Oh, interesting.
Same thing. And so we landed, and I was flying right seat, and the practice is that you do the reset instead of reposition,
Mm-hmm.
because it gets you physically ill to see that in the simulator because of the way the visuals are set up. And this, we landed, and we're going to take off again, so they're going to reposition us at the end of the runway. So we hit that, and so we backed down the runway at about 200 miles an hour, and it was disconcerting. And of course, you know, as soon as the instructor did it, he said, "Oops," and Captain was an old graybeard, million hours, and he just said, "I guess I left too much thrust reverse on that one." He just cracked up.
That's awesome. Oh goodness. Okay, so I went ahead and turned on the fly live thing, so the little bottom heads up thing will show. But it's just gonna say KFAT to KFAT because we're just flying around here today. So it's mainly just so you can see the altitude and the is it altitude and heading on there or speed? It looks like altitude and speed. So all right, cool. We got a few people watching in Twitch, so welcome guys. And more people in YouTube because that's what people are used to. Okay, so let's take a look at this bird, see if we can get it fired up and figured out. So just kind of look at the overhead panel here. It looks very similar to that of a 757 in its kind of layout and a lot of things, and it's kind of like a hybrid. It feels like between a 75 and a 777. But it is a Boeing at the end of the day, so don't let the gray fool you. It still is a Boeing. It's still going to have a lot of the same deals. So let's just kind of give a once over to the overhead here and see where things are. So we got flight control switches here, which will probably just remain guarded normally. IRS, actually they're on. I'm going to turn them off right now because we don't even have power on the aircraft. So, but that's where we will turn. The other ones you have IRS align, nav, and there's a third one that we never use. This is just off and on, so very simple. Primary flight computers, I'm assuming they will just keep that guarded. Here's the electrical panel. So we got the battery, we've got the in-flight entertainment and passenger seats, cabin utility, APU gen, forward external power, aft external power. These things got lots of external power. And then our main AC buses. We got the generators. Looks like there's 2 circuits per engine there. So that's interesting. An L1 and L2 and a right 1 and right 2. So interesting. HUD brightness for that guy right there. Windshield wiper on the left. Windshield washer. And then the lower display contrast, which looks like it's just a dummy button because nothing's happening as I hover over it. So that one must not be modeled. Up back at the top, we've got some lights for testing some things. Towing power. These look like lights of some kind for the panel. Forward door panel. Let's see, emergency lights, window heats, the ram air turbine. So if we lose our engines mid-flight, these look like this is hydraulic. These look like it says hydraulic right there. So left and right hydraulic, and then the electrics C1, C2, and the demand pumps on both sides. Passenger signs. Notice a lack of no smoking sign because this plane was designed in the era where there is no smoking anyway, so we don't need that anymore. Overhead panel, dome lights, storm light, glare shield, landing lights, whole shebang. Let's see, ground test. So I'm assuming this looks like something to do with data ground testing and things like that. The CVR, cockpit voice recorder. That might have to do with that, by the way. I'm not sure. We'll read about that later. Cargo fire, engines, the EC modes, and then the start switches, which is real simple, norm and start. Fuel genesis panel, fuel pumps, which looks a lot like 7.5, and balance. I'm not sure what that does. We'll have to read about that one. Balance the airplane. Just do that. Let's see. Anti-ice. We got the wing anti-ice and then the engine anti-ice. Standard beacon, nav, logo, and wing lights. And runway turn-off lights, taxi lights, strobe light. And up here, this the humid switch. I'm not sure what we're resetting and arming with this guy. Oh, the ELT. Okay. Emergency locator transmitter, I guess. Cargo temps and air conditioning packs and the air conditioning panel, recirc fans, equipment cooling, trim air, left pack, right pack, ventilation, pressurization, forward and aft. And here's where we'll set our landing altitude and manual to change those. Wipers for the other side and HUD for the other side. And there's the compass showing us at 210 pretty much. On the whoops, not that. There we go. On the glare shield panel here, this looks very Boeing-ish in a lot of ways. We've got the minimums and baro setting right here for that. The baro set for your altimeter, so inches and hectopascals, and then set to standard, and then that's a reset right there. Meters, and I forget what does a FPV stand for again, Tim? I forget.
That's your angle, flight path angle.
Ah, I got you. Okay. And then on
that is kind of the nod to the Airbus.
Got it. We'll not talk about that switch then. Anyway, on the ND here, we got the plan. Sorry, that's not just plan. You can't tell right here. I think it's map, plan, menu, and then range. This is all for the ND controls. Navigation display. Let's see here. And number of these. This is kind of cool. So what this aircraft can do. So this is the primary location of the FMS or FMC or whatever you want to call it. There's one on each side, but I can view that up here, or I can view systems up here. I can view the ND up here. Primarily, you use the ND up here, but you can do info, CDU, systems, checklist, communications, comms, all of that here. You can do the same thing down here. There's all those menu buttons. First officer can do the same. So these can kind of all transition between these screens for better viewing, which is kind of cool. You can switch the ICAS from one side to the other, so the ND can be the entire screen, or it can be half, and you get the engine instruments on the one there. And first officer can do the same there. Cancel recall button right there. Engine, this will turn off on or off the secondary engine indications down there. Autopilot switch, auto throttle arm switch, left and right. Flight director, we got climb, continuous, auto throttle, LNAV, VNAV, flight change, flight level change. The heading select, heading hold, autopilot disengage, big old bar right there. Vertical speed, altitude select, and we got hold there, loc and approach, and then the other autopilot there, the other flight director. These are all the same over here for the first officer. Standby altimeter and speed and heading and all that stuff right there. Artificial horizon. The gear switch, auto brakes. We've got, what's over here? These should be air data, something or other. What does that say? Oh, air data. Yeah, okay. Air data and PFD norm. So this is outbound, outboard, inbound, inboard, that kind of stuff. Floor heaters. Ooh, we got foot heaters and shoulder heaters. Man, goodness. Chart. Looks like probably chart light there. Display contrast, inboard display contrast, panel floods. This has a built-in electronic flight bag right here that we can mess with. The tiller is right here. My Mountain Dew goes right there. We got the oxygen, which, can we mess with this thing? Oh yeah, we can. Ooh, there we go. Some little more cup holders, multiple Mountain Dews. All right, now we're talking. And hey, we got the fire axe there, some gloves, a fire extinguisher. That's very necessary, especially when I'm flying. Map light. Let's look at the lower panel here. So like I said, this is the controls for the FMC. You get the little trackpad there for your finger like the mouse. This is the parking brake and alternate pitch trim, looks like right there. Stab trim guards, fuel control switches. The oh, that's cool. Why would they? Wonder why the speed brake was armed. Anyway, so there's the standard throttles, and of course, pulling back gets you the. Maybe I actually hit that, and so it brought the speed brakes in. Oh yeah, because now they're going back up again. There we go. Put that back. And then we got the flaps, and alternate flaps. And these, I believe, are the radios. So they're all these digital things, which you can also view on the screen here, which is kind of cool. And then the radio selects, to what channel you want to hear. Rudder trim. Let's see, where's the TCAS stuff? I bet, I'm guessing that's probably built into these. It's probably not an actual physical button deal. Flight deck door access, important if this is a German wings flight. I'll stand, and yeah, okay. Let's look around the other side of the cockpit here, see if there's any other points of note or interest. That's all. Emergency escape devices inside. All right. Here's how we get out in emergency, right through the roof. This is pretty nice. 2 jump seats with the cup holders and the oxygen mask. That's pretty spiffy. Very nice. Little closet there to put my coat and assorted other crap. Can this open? No. All right. That would have been kind of cool, but oh well. Not necessary.
Saw something I'm not sure of.
All right. What do you want me to look at?
Is there a alignment system to adjust your seat to correct view line?
Oh, good question. Let's see.
Because I noticed that white cross forward of the yokes.
All right. Forward of the yokes.
Down low.
Down low. Okay. Let me see here. Let me my position.
Yeah. It's
Are you seeing it?
I'm playing the delay in the.
I know you are, so I'm trying to wait for you here. Oh, it looks like I may be looking
You see
way.
what I'm talking about?
No, not yet.
Down low underneath the panel,
Oh, that guy right there. I see it now. Yeah, right on top of the whatever that dude is. Yeah, I don't know what that is. That seems like an odd place for your alignment, but maybe.
the only thing I could think of is aligning the arrow on the top of the yoke with the
Yeah, because
cross.
it's got this arrow thing and then the cross right there. Maybe. What is my? Let's see what my. See, my view isn't quite centered on that anyway. So let's see what that looks like, because I'm going to do that, and I can look in. What's it called here? Chase plane, and see what that looks like on the pan view. Actually, my pan is showing that I'm. Oh no, pan is 0. My lateral is 0.05. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump back to that position.
I'm just taking a guess on that, by the way. I'm not 787
No,
savvy.
no, that's fine. I love it. 0.05. Boom. And save. There. Now I'm lined up anyway. Which is what I want to be anyway. Because I did that with the first officer side, but I didn't because I didn't line this up with the LG. I just went off of what they sent me initially. So, but that's cool.
I just wonder whether you're too high now.
I am too high. I moved my eyesight down. I didn't want to do that. So I'm gonna save that.
What a lot of the sim pilots don't realize is in the real airplane, we are actually quite close to the panel.
Yes, you are, and I know that because when I went and sat in that 757 cockpit in LA on the way back from Flight SimCon last year, I went, "Oh, so you are quite close."
Well,
So,
did you adjust the seat, or were you all the way back?
I think I adjusted it a little bit. So, but even for me, I mean, I'm a bigger guy anyway. So, but it was a lot. Yeah. So I mean, you get. And again, part of that is this is what drives me nuts. This is what I see simmers on X-Plane doing, and it's not just X-Plane. I shouldn't limit it to that, but it's not that. No, other way. Let's see if I can. I see this all the time. They're like flying like this, and you'll see it in a second. It's just like, okay, seriously. I know you want to see everything, but that is a bit excessive. So you'll see that in a moment. Put that back. So this is my happy compromise to what you'd actually be seeing. When I went and sat in the 747 cockpit at Hiller, I did adjust the seat up forward like it should be, and that one was impressive of how close you are too with everything. It's like, oh man, okay, you're just right in there. Really,
It's a real nice view out of the 7.4.
It is. You have a really good view and can see actually quite well. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense at that point. So. Alrighty. Okay, so views are set. We've kind of done a tour of the. No, stop pulling that down. Okay. Also, by clicking on this, I believe you get the QualityWings menu. Yeah, there we go. You can change the color of the interior lighting over there in the cabin, which is kind of cool. Forward cargo lights. That's kind of cool. External power. So let's do that. Actually, let's go out here. Use my views. By the way, we're flying the Boeing livery for the 787. I figured that was appropriate today for as we experiment around with this. Let's see. Oh, never mind. That was dumb. Okay, hang on. I don't know how to get this panel by not doing that. So let's see what that looks like. So there's our QualityWings ground power. Go ahead.
QualityWings. Is this the only QualityWings that's set up for the P3D?
It might be. I don't
think the 7.5 is current over there, is it?
I doubt it because their 7.5 is quite old, so I doubt it. So you're probably right. The QualityWings probably is the only one that is now P3D. That would make sense.
Nice power unit.
Yeah. Rick, thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome to the Moose Crew. Kelsey, what's you feeling downtrodden? Sorry, I've been staring around this thing. I kind of stopped looking at chat when Baxter Cat and Downfall just started going at it because that's all that was. So, oh, there's Kelsey. How you doing, Kelsey? Welcome back to the stream. IDK Bossy, welcome back to the stream. How's it going? Looks like we got 3 people watching in Twitch. I don't know if those are our people already or new people, but welcome to you guys as well. Feel free to chat, say something in chat, say hello. I will know you're coming from Twitch because it'll change the icon here for me, so that'll be nice. All right, we have power in the aircraft now, so let's go ahead and use it. So we'll go ahead and turn the battery on first. Let's see what the sequences are like around here. Don't know if that does anything right away. And let's go forward external power to on. Ooh, let there be light. Daniel Maloney, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Okay. So the one thing, and this was pointed out in Chili's stream on the 787 that I think is not very well thought out, is you'll notice the green text on the artificial horizon here over the light kind of yellow brown is really hard to see. And it's even harder to see when this goes yellow to say, hey, you should be in standard mode now, or vice versa. You almost can't see it at all because it blends so much in with that color. So they really should have put those down here or put a black box behind just that little section of text like they did with the -4 there. But yeah, I don't know if it's like that really on the actual 7.8 or if it's something overlooked by QualityWings. I would imagine if it's actually like that on 7.8, there's probably a better contrast that doesn't show up here. 757 is alpha for P3DV4. Oh, for the for QualityWings, that's cool.
Yeah, can you set the contrast within the sim?
There is some contrast stuff I can mess with, so that's down here. Well, I think that I can mess with it. Maybe not. I can mess with these knobs. I can mess with the floor heater, but I can't do the contrast. That doesn't make any sense. I should be able to change the brightness of that. That just seems like a no-brainer. That's panel floodlighting. Unless I can do it through a menu. So here, by the way, I'll show you this, guys, real quick. Here's the ND, so I can bring the CDU up onto the ND, which is pretty cool. Systems, checklist, comms, the ND. And then I can throw the ICAS over to the first officer and make the ND full screen, which is just a blank screen right now because I haven't turned on the initial reference system, so we should try to turn that on. So we'll switch that to on. And I'm assuming then I probably have to, let's see, no, not ND, CDU. It's probably something I have to align down here. Position init, there we go. And it's all touchscreen, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so we'll do that one, boom. And we are at KFAT. Put that in reference. We're at gate 17. I don't know if it'll take that. We'll find out. Nope, not in database. Okay. So we will not care about that. All right, but now it should be able to align. I don't think I need to hit that for anything, but I don't know how long.
Does QualityWings have the ability to import the PDFs for taxi charts and stuff into the flight bag?
I would hope so because I know they have them in here, and so from what I would guess, I haven't looked to see how you do that yet, but yeah, I would very much hope that you could change that because obviously the longer you have the plane, the more it's going to be out of date then, so.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, exactly. Answer my question. Oh yeah, sorry. What was? I'm gonna go back and find your question here. Sorry. Oh, why the GSX menu look different? So I don't remember if it's a P3D menu or if it's an update that they did for P3D for GSX, but for a while now it's looked like that with this little kind of grayish menu, which is actually kind of awesome. I like it. I also think something changed because this went huge for a while, like was filling the whole screen, and that happened around the same time as I installed some of the Flightbeam software that uses the SODE gates, SODEs, and because it uses a similar menu, and I think they share menu style, and so I think that may have changed it too. So it may have been that, or it was a GSX update. I don't remember which. But somehow it got back to small again, but it's retained the look, and I really like that look better. It doesn't look like the cheesy FSX menu, which is nice. Okay. So yeah, so we were looking to see if we could find contrast stuff. Let me see if it's in a setting somewhere here. Info. QualityWings configuration. EFB night chart. Not sure what that is. Maybe it's just a black background.
Yeah, that's the chart's the black. So obviously it's got the import if it's
It,
got that setting.
it must, yeah. Panel autosave, auto step climb, sounds, display units, PFD flight director dual queue. Oh, here's brightness. Oh, so I can turn it. Oh, uh-oh. Good thing my mouse didn't move too far. That's kind of cool. Okay. Yeah, because the 100% brightness is too bright, in my opinion. That's kind of nice right there, actually. That's not. That's actually really nice, actually. Yeah, that 100% brightness is just overwhelming. Maybe when the sun's shining on it, that's necessary, but not now. All right, so that changed them all. That didn't change the. I mean, it helped with the contrast because it's not quite as bright now. So that explains that. Map font size adjust. I can do that there. VSD terrain always on. All right. That's approach config. Jump ahead. We're not going to use. And we'll go back to the CDU. Okay.
I'll be right back, Moose.
Okay. All right. So we got power in the aircraft externally. The that power for that door is on. It looks like emergency lighting should be armed. Yes, it is. No, stay closed. Towing power, I don't think we need. Let's. I guess battery test is high. I guess that's good. We'll turn our window heat on here. Backup, I guess, turn on. I'm not sure. I guess that kicks in probably automatically if a heater dies. File your location. What's the reference? What are you saying there, David? Oh, FSX ATC menu is so bad. Jesus Express menu over. Yeah, I know. It was probably cool when it was, came out in 2006, but yeah, it's pretty cheesy now. Hydraulics are auto for those. Auto. Left engine. Okay, so those are all on. That's good. Seatbelt sign. We'll go ahead and turn it on. Dome light. Oop. Okay, so that's the dome lighting. Not too shabby. It's way too bright for today, so we don't need that. Master bright. Oh, that's cool. So I wonder if I do dome lighting. That doesn't do anything. So that must be, whoops, that must be referencing something else. Overhead panel, there you go. There's the backlighting, panel lighting. And then glare shield panel lighting. This should be that guy. Yep, there we go. And then that's the flood. Oh, gosh. The floodlight graphics is pretty bad. Although I didn't do the update. There's a high-res version of the VC that you can activate, and I have not done that yet. So that may be why that looks so bad. But oh man, I thought Chili was exaggerating. That's not exaggeration at all. Oh, lower display. Oh no, that's a phony button. Okay, never mind. We need the nav lights on. We'll turn them on. Anti-ice we don't need, obviously. Fuel we don't need at the moment. Cargo fire. That's the test. That's APU test. Where's the? Okay, quiet you. Where are the? That's the APU fire handle. Where's the engine fire handles? Are they down here? Oh, there they are. That's that inhibit. Where's the test light for these? Is that no? Yeah, how do you test the engine fire panel? Or did it do those too and I just didn't? Ah, it did. Okay. Yep, test them all. Okay. All right. We're not going to jettison fuel, obviously. And let's get the AP running, see what the packs sound like in here. Kicks and giggles. Yeah, I set the IRS position already. It's down here. So IRS and KFAT for the reference airport. I couldn't set the gate because the gate is not in the database, so which doesn't really matter. There's no flight engineer in here. It's a 787. All right. Let's see. Does one of these tell me? Oh, that's right. I can click on that, huh? Oops, don't do that. trying to see if there's a readout on the APU firing up, but I'm not seeing anything here. I'm just going to turn that away, unless that's fuel. Nathan Graham Aviation, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Playing around with the 787. All right, so we got automatically fuel pressure is indicating on the rear left pump there for the APU. I'm guessing it's running. I've got offs on here. No, I don't want to do that, but let me turn the packs on here. Oh, I hear air spinning up. Probably put the trim air on, that'd probably be good. Equipment cooling and recirc fans. All right, it's not overwhelming. I like that. That's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. This is kind of cool. So you get a flight number readout up here, so you can see what your flight number is, your tail number, your cell call number, your transponder setting. So let's take a look at the FMC down here and just see what all we got. So we got the inertial reference page for on route. Looks pretty similar to the Boeing stuff normally does. Departure arrival, we haven't set anything in here yet, so that's fine. Alternates, VNAV, fix, legs, hold, FMC comm, which doesn't do anything apparently. Progress page and nav radio. All right, so that's pretty standard fare. I wonder where we do. I still don't know where we do our TCAS stuff at. I need to find that. Is it the next page thing on here? No. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out where our TCAS stuff is set. It might be down here. Now that radios are on, let's take a look down here at the radio panel. It might be in here. Let's see. Nav. Oh, it's something else. Nav radio. Menu. VHF. Aha! Transponder. There we go. Alright, so we can set our transponder code here. I'm just going to set 2200. We can ident. TCAS norm below. Alright, that's cool. It doesn't do anything. Is there a way to activate? Because right now, next page, next menu. Let's go back to menu. Transponder nav, GPWS, SAT. That's cool. No. Menu. Nav is that. Menu, weather, radar, GPWS. Yeah, I don't see a way to turn the transponder on, so I guess it's just always on? It's kind of weird. Unless you changed it, no. This norm below. Absolute, relative, left, right. Oh, it looks like you can, okay, so you can click them up here too, so you don't have to go through that menu thing. That's cool. But yeah, there's no place to like turn. Oh, nope, here we go. Transponder mode. Standby, alt reporting off, transponder, traffic only, TARA. So, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on transponder because it doesn't really matter. We're not online anywhere. So, all right, those are standard. And then rudder, aileron trim. So we got 3 of these. Let's go. Oh, here we go. So doors, speed dial, cabin interphone. What does that do? What does that do? I don't think it does anything. It's just kind of cool things to touch, I guess. Ground crew. See, you can say call ground crew, but what are you doing with that? Like, is there like a command you're supposed to be? Yeah, I wonder what that does. Cabin interphone. Huh. And
Back.
oh goodness. Welcome
What's
back.
got you puzzled here?
I'm just looking at, there's a these little radio comms things. There's a cabin interphone option that you can select like PA call or ground crew call. It doesn't appear to be doing anything, so I'm not sure if this is just for looks or if it actually does something and I'm supposed to hit something else. But I don't know. I'm just kind of curious. Just tootling with it. So I'm sure we'll discover that eventually. We did figure.
If you had somebody on the other end to answer it.
Yeah, exactly. We did figure out our transponder, so that's done in here, and then the master transponder switch is right here to change from standby to transponder TA and TARA. So that's good. Fuel control is figured out. All right, let's try to set up our weight and balance as best we can here and see. I'm just going to make up a number for reserves because we're not going anywhere. No, not 5.7. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we have 57,000 pounds of fuel, and our reserves are 57,000 pounds. No. Try again. There we go. Orphanet request. What does that do? Announcement status. Oh. Well, that's kind of cool. I'm going to have to figure out what all that nonsense is. All right, so that's in there. We're going to say our cruise altitude is 5,000 because we're just going to jump around to Fresno Air Terminal space. Cost index, we'll just use our little standby of 80. Thrust reference, I'm going to keep it standard. And takeoff. Flaps, what are our flap options here? 1, 5, 15, I'll use 5. Flap 5. Thrust is takeoff. I could do that again. Okay. 21. Okay, so it'll auto-populate that for me. Takeoff data. I don't know what it's looking for there. And I guess it doesn't need me to do anything with the V-speed. It's just going to tell me what they are. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I wonder if this is slope and wind speed. Let's do 0/0 and see what it does. Nope, that didn't work. Okay.
What about wind?
Well, maybe it's winds. But I should be able to do 0. Well, let's try it. Let's do 0, 20 at 15 for kicks and giggles. Nope, doesn't like that either.
Does it have to be centigrade or Fahrenheit or C or F?
I'm guessing that's probably what it is. I'm gonna guess this is a temperature thing, a slope and temperature. So I'm gonna try 0 slash what is the current temp? 26. 26C. Let's see what that does. No? Really? Okay. Let's try, see if it wants a H for a headwind maybe? Or a preceding H for a headwind? Nope, doesn't like anything. Alright. Well, I'm gonna leave it blank. We'll figure out what it is later, I guess. Interesting. Alright, back to...
Or TFM.
That's right. KFAT to KFAT. Flight number is BOI 001. Runway is going to be 29er right. And that's all I'm worried about for that because I'm just going to do it visually. For this first one, it's going to be a simple little deal just to get her up in the air and see how she handles. Flight director. All right, let's see if we can get these engines started here. So from what I understand, it's actually not a pneumatic starter. Apparently it's an electronic starter, was what someone was saying, which is kind of cool. Well, let's see what happens here. So engine start switches are over here.
Okay, starting engines.
Oh. Electrical power not sufficient. Please start the APU, connect an external power source. I'm connected to an external power source. There we go. Oh, did that do it? I hear something moving. Oh, it did do it. Okay. And there she blows. Fire on engine number 2. All right, so apparently you need the APU and the external power connected to start. That seems odd, though. I wonder if you... Yeah, because you couldn't push and start then. I wonder if you can do it if you have the packs turned off, so you can do that. So then you can start pneumatically. We'll have to try that next time.
Yeah, seems if it was electronic, seems like it'd have an automatic shed on the buses to
Right.
reduce the load.
Yeah, you would think. So it's an interesting thing there. All right, so I think it looks like engine is pretty stable at this point, I think. Looks like it. Okay. Yep, we're back into norm. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and flip the fuel over to run, so we can go outside the plane and watch this and see what it sounds like.
Does it have a FADEC where you can just flip up the cutoff switches
I think so.
instead of waiting for the RPM to come in?
Yeah. I would imagine the 747 can do that, so I would imagine this can too. And there's ignition. Not the prettiest fan blade sequence to look at for startup, but well. See what happens as it starts getting faster here. Kind of jittery.
It's like a Briggs and Stratton.
Yeah, right? That looks much better. Got a nice sound to it, I'll give them that. These are the GE engine variant. And they get very quiet then too. Running, okay. Alright. We don't have anything
How
in
many
center
different
pumps.
engine variants does it come with?
2. It comes with the GE and the Rolls-Royce.
Okay.
And we'll go ahead and put on our engine buses there. We should be able to disconnect the external power now and tell them to disconnect, which I guess we do here. Remove the external power. Okay, beacons should come on at this point. And I'm not going to GS exit for this. I'm just gonna do a lazy pushback. The old FSX default pushback of Shift P. Because I can.
Power back.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. All right.
Got your beacon on?
Yeah. You'll see in a second, I just changed views. Alright.
Surprised they went with the gray flight deck instead of the brown.
I know, and that's probably one of my biggest things I don't like about the 787 is I'm not a big fan of the gray, especially when it gets dark. The brown just looks so much better with the lighting, but that's me. What are you gonna do?
It's funny, when I was young and beginning, they thought it was so exciting to get in the 727 with the gray flight deck.
I'm just happy it's not like the Russian planes where it's like that blue color, like that really obnoxious blue.
Yeah.
Oh, no, thank you.
That DC-9 had
Yeah, yes, you're right. Absolutely.
that robin egg blue.
Yeah. Well.
Aqua.
No, thank you. All right, I think we can turn the APU off. And we'll go ahead and turn our taxi light on. I'm going to turn those on too for funsies. Let's get our flaps down to 5.
Yeah, when you get down to the end of the runway with everything done, do an external view so we can see how it looks.
Sure, we'll do. Ooh. That's what kills the... okay, now we know. Okay. Chili was having this issue, and we are trying to figure out what it was, and I'll bet it's that. It is, yeah.
What's the issue?
It's that taxi light. So watch this. I'm going to pan around the cockpit here. It's going to be pretty smooth. We turn this taxi light on. Oh, Stutter City. Oh, that taxi light takes
That's interesting.
That taxi light takes a hit, man. Let's see if
Does this have the true glass?
It does have the true glass. It does not have the true light, or whatever that other one is. Yeah, the light. So it's the lights in the Miller light. Yeah, yeah. Lights in general. Landing lights will do the same thing. That's interesting. All right, I'm a taxi without the lights on at the moment because that's annoying. I noticed that with the 717 too. Whatever they're using for the lighting system now is really taking a toll whenever you turn external lights on. It's not as bad, I don't think, in the 717, but it was definitely noticeable.
Do you have the what's it called, the HDR, or is that X-Plane that's got that?
No, I do have the HDR, and is that thing down again? Grief. All right. So, and that may be a thing too. I think Chili tried turning the HDR off, and it didn't really. Of course, I think he did that at altitude, so the lights weren't going to be a thing. Nice thing is, you notice the turn-off lights don't seem to do that because they're on right now. So that's good. So you can get some light without.
Yeah, but
not that
is
that
it
really
in your
helps.
Field of view?
No, well, even when it is, it doesn't do it. So like I'm looking at it now, and it's not having an effect.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'm not sure. I wonder if turning off the turn-off lights, maybe it's a combination of them. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so when you have the turn-off lights and the taxi light on, it's nasty. So that's good. I can live with that. I love this though. The shadow for the virtual cockpit, all it sees is the cockpit. So it's showing the shadow on the ground is just this little dome over here taxiing. Someone's got to fix that. That's not really helpful.
That was like a reflection off the windshield or something.
No, I'm pretty sure that's just the virtual cockpit shadow because that's all it's modeling right now. Because I think when I go outside the plane, yeah, there's the whole thing. So, man, this thing likes to... I have like some asymmetric thrust going on right now. No. Things like...
Dragging a brake.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's just my pedals need to be calibrated. It could be.
Why are you throwing a caution light?
TCAS off.
Okay.
Yeah. Slow down here. This thing taxis pretty well without having to add really any thrust, just to get some breakaway thrust, and then you can set it at idle and just go, which is nice.
Like the 717?
Yeah.
You got a crosswind or something that's causing that yaw?
I don't know. It might be. Trying to see if it shows me my winds anywhere. There's a windsock around here somewhere. Although I don't know where it is at the moment. Of course, I could also do this. What's active sky pulling right now? Conditions. KFAT. Winds are 320 at 6. So it's not a huge crosswind.
What's with all the towers?
They're comm towers. And they're actually not really even there in real life. They're somewhere else. Good old default Fresno airport scenery. Yeah.
What version of the 787 are you doing?
What do you mean, like the 8 versus the 9, or what are you asking?
Or just like, which one are you flying?
Well, this is the 787-800. It's the P3D version that just came out.
Okay.
If that answers your question. I do really like the...
Were there updates you had to do after you downloaded the original?
No. Because like I said, it just came out yesterday, so for P3D. It's been out for a while for FSX, but it hasn't been around for P3D until... Oh, see, now it's getting all stuttery again. That's weird that it like comes and goes. And then if I turn that off again, I'll bet back to smooth. Smooth as a Beatty's bum. Let me see what happens when I turn the landing light on. That's a little choppy. I bet it'll get worse if I do that. Much worse. And hat trick. That's something that I'm gonna have to address, I think, because that's pretty nasty. So, all right, so we got our flaps are down. Let's turn our TCAS to TARA, and it's still saying something about the landing altitude is not set correctly. So, which is supposed to be there. I don't know what I'm really setting though. That's the problem. Let me take a closer gander at what it's yelling at me about, maybe. Can't relate.
Possibly the
The landing altitude's in manual.
pressurization.
Yeah, it's the landing altitude's in manual right now, apparently. Did that do it? No, it's still in manual. If I push it, it's still in. How do you get this thing into auto? That's in auto. The outflow valves are auto. Max takeoff and landing altitude. I mean, I'd change it, but I can't see it at the same time. How do you get I wonder how you get those screens to detach, or if I can get it enough into.
So if you touch the screen, it doesn't pout.
Well, I'm gonna try something here. If I move the ICAS over there, now I can kind of see that. There, I can see it just barely. Okay, so that's moving, but it just says manual. It's not doing anything. All right, let's try something else here. Let's go into systems, and where's the? That's electrical, hydraulic, fuel, air. There we go. That's really not helpful. Okay.
Yeah, the 787 is very unusual in its carbon fiber fuselage, so the pressurization, the plane can fly at a higher altitude.
Right. Yeah, it can.
The higher,
yeah,
delta P.
Right. It can fly at keeping the cabin altitude closer to 5,000 instead of 8,000, and up at the high altitudes, which is not. Oops, we're gonna parking brake. Thank you. Yeah. So why isn't that? I can move that around, and I hear it clicking, but I don't see anything happening down here. This just says manual. You'd think that would change or something. How do I set that to not be manual? You'd think it'd be up here. Ventilation is norm. Packs are auto. Trim, reset. Let's see if that did anything. No. No, alas not. Okay. Well, we're not going to go very high, so I'm going to ignore it for now and see what it does. Because we're not going to go over 5,000 feet or so anyway, so that should be okay. I'm going to dismiss the caution and undo the brakes.
Automatically set your V speeds.
It looks like it did. I see them, and when clicking on them, it didn't give me the option to select them or anything. Although this says no V speed over here, so yeah, something still needs to happen. Although I don't know how to do it, so I'll have to read the manual on that one, figure out what's going on there. V2 was like 141, I believe. I'll go look at it here in a second before we lift off. Again, we're not going to engage the autopilot this flight. This is going to be a turnaround and come back down. See how this thing handles. Let's see, the V speeds were real quick here. 142 is V2. Okay. I was close. All right, we still got that fun back and forth. Doesn't want to stay straight, so we'll see what happens here. Give that little thing a knock. And let's go up. Ooh, okay. It likes to squirrel all over the place, doesn't it? That looks like it's roughly the thrust setting there. Whew, think got a lot of power though, I'll tell you that. That's V1. Oh, to see if there are V speeds right there. Okay, V2. And away we go. Gear up.
Positive rate. Gear up.
This thing seems to fly quite nicely. Start our banking turnaround here.
Flaps 1.
Oh, it tells me. That's cool. It tells me when to do the flaps. That's nice. Set climb power here. Banking over Fresno.
Did it smooth out with the light on, or you get them turned off?
I turned them. I kept them turned off. I'm gonna try to turn them on the landing for the landing lights and see what happens. I'm guessing now that we're at altitude, let me try to turn the landing lights on, see if it makes a difference. Yeah, with nothing to reflect off of it, doesn't do anything, so I can leave them on. We're gonna be below 10,000 the whole time anyway. And speaking of which, we're coming up on 5. We're gonna bust our speeds here. There's Highway 99.
I did like your last video.
Oh,
driving.
good. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I'll do that again when we do Vegas.
Yeah, I like the 6,000 emails from you on my Twitter.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, it's okay. I was asking you to apologize when you.
And I looked back at Twitter to do the update for the video and went, what is all this posting here about? I didn't do this. But yeah, there's a Twitter and another setting for something. I don't remember what the other one is in YouTube. And I guess even just moving videos in and out of playlists, it goes, oh, you want to announce that? No. Not really. All right, there's K-Fat down there. Just kind of make an end around here in the valley. Little high altitude pattern work. I might do that in a moment here, Brian. We'll see. I'm gonna put this thing back on the deck here, see how it lands, and then we'll. Because then I also want to play with some of the automation and just see if I can get used to that. It should be pretty similar to any Boeing, but it'll be a little different, I would imagine. Get some haze out here.
Well, there's famous last words.
Yeah, right. Downfall. We'll see you later, man. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed hanging with Baxter. All right, we'll start on down. We'll go ahead and cut the engines to idle there.
We pick up anybody else from the Moose for Vegas?
I haven't seen anybody else from Moose Crew going to Vegas yet. So yeah, if you are planning to go to Vegas, let me know, because both Tim and I are going to be there. We'd love to meet up with you. Come say hi. I actually had some business cards made up last night for my channel, so I'll hand those out at anyone that's wanting them at Vegas. They should be here on the 4th. Little Vistaprint job. Are we actually descending? We are. Okay, good. This thing flies really nice.
Shirts.
What was that?
The next year polo shirt.
Exactly. Slowly ramp it up.
I'm thinking I like the 777 better.
Well, I would imagine it probably is in general better, just because it's PMDG. It's probably going to be modeled a lot better. Now, this ain't bad so far. This actually hand flies really nicely.
Yeah, I was just watching that. It's a nice job.
It's squirrely on the ground, but it sure does. Once you get up into the sweet by and by, it works pretty nice.
Still think you ought to figure out your house lat long and put it in as a fix.
Yeah, right. I should. It's called the fix moose. Actually, it's the right number of
There you
characters,
go.
I think. Yeah. All right, we're gonna have to lose some speed here because this thing's not wanting to shed speed very much. Not shedding speed at all.
You're not in auto throttle.
Yeah, the throttles are idle.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we're gonna circle around one more time because this thing. Whoa, yeah. Because we're not losing.
Slippery little airplane.
Oh, look, as we got closer to the ground, it's getting jittery. The lights are taking over. I'm gonna turn them off.
Either that or you're getting nervous.
Just shake it on the yoke. Ah! It's the
Let's
stick
see
shaker
how
coming in.
bad we can crash.
That's right. Stick shaker's coming in here. There we go.
After they do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Is that our runway in the front there?
No, I just did a 360 here, and it's to our right at the moment. Gemini Jets, you might be going to Vegas. That'd be awesome, man. We'd love to have you. Where are you? Are you close to Vegas, or is that like a flight that you'd have to do? Engines sound really cool. Nice kind of howl to them. Love it.
Just take a quick peek in the external.
Sure, will do. Adjust my course here a little bit first.
Haven't heard anything out of Frugal, whether he's...
Yeah, I haven't either. I'm not sure if he's going or not. I know he didn't make it last year. That's pretty... Oh, there we go. So there she blows. There's the airport behind us again. It's pretty nice looking. If there's a logo light I can turn on somewhere, should be. Actually, it was probably up here. Yeah, logo, there we go. Let's see what that did. Ooh, that's nice. Okay. Now, once the flaps are out, then we'll lose speed no problem, of course. Alright, that just armed it, right? Yeah, good, okay. Alright, spoilers are armed, gear's already out. Go flaps 20.
Visually, it's a nice airplane.
Yeah. And we're climbing again for some reason. This thing in the cockpit view sits deceptively nose down, so if you're not watching your artificial horizon, you can start climbing and you think you're supposed to be level.
That's where your scan comes in.
Yeah. Okay, this should be a little better.
Did you get the SoCal Orbix?
No, I just have the North America.
Okay.
Although there's still time. It's all on sale still till the end of May.
Yeah, I went and got what is it, Global and Vector.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just got Vector as part of... no, I got it before the sale. I got it... Actually, it was on sale for another reason. It was before May. But, yeah. I've had Global for quite a while.
And don't forget the altitude matching thing on Vector.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I did that. It's all, you know, it actually all came across pretty well. Even our West Wind stuff works with it.
Oh, good.
Did the... if you got Dream Team Las Vegas, it will screw it up a little bit, I think. Screwed mine up.
Was it on the altitude matching stuff on Vector?
Yeah, affirmative.
Okay.
And it just didn't do anything. I had to reposition the altitude thing in the scenery library.
Okay. Man, that's a nice approach, Mike.
Thank you. Kind of just getting the feel of how this airplane feels on final here.
It's good and stable. Just keep your speed.
Yeah, that's what I'm watching.
500. 400. 300. Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Landing.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Beautiful. Just realized I didn't set my auto brakes, so we'll do that manually.
Smoke them if you got them.
That's right. Cut out the reverse. It wasn't too bad. Actually flies pretty nicely there once you get the feel for it. The biggest thing on this plane I noticed is that you just really feel like it will nose up on you pretty easily if you add in a little bit of power. So you just got to watch that floating tendency. But otherwise, I fly pretty beautifully.
The Cascade thrust reversers, or is it pedal?
Pedal. I'm not sure what the I'm not.
It's the Airbus.
Oh, like the little flap things that come out, you mean?
Yeah, affirmative.
Yeah, no, it's the regular cast. It's the split and the internal deals. Yeah.
Yeah, sleeve. Yeah.
Yeah, sleeve. There you go. All right, I'm gonna see. Let me see what this will do for a replay there. I just want to see what that looked like. Analysis, instant replay. Let's do 80 because that's.
Hope it works.
We'll find out. Whoop.
Replay's been a little suspect.
Yeah. All right, gotta go farther than that. Whoop. Get back here. Instant replay. We'll do.
It was a nice arrival.
Oops. It's gotta figure out where it is.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Ooh, that did look very
That's
nice.
a short final.
That was very nice. And that's very. What's with the red going on here? Some interesting color things going on with the camera. Yeah, what is up with that? There's some weird thing with the. I don't know what that is.
Sunset.
Yeah, maybe. It's just goofy. Well, cool. That was very nice. Let's get back to the area over here and try some things. Crystal Rain, how's it going? How's it compared to the 777 overall? I don't know because I don't have the 777, unfortunately. I have the PMDG 747 and the 737. It flies very beautifully. I'm told by those that do fly the 777, the setup, at least in the overhead panel, the layout is very similar to the 777. A lot of the startup and flows are very similar to the 777. So in that sense, I think it's pretty similar. I mean, it's a big twin engine, so it's going to probably feel a lot similar to the 777. It's very stable in the flight, and very easy to control in the cruise. It just has a kind of slight nose up tendency when you're messing with power. So you just got to be careful. It will start floating on you really easily if you're not careful and don't arrest that. But otherwise, it handles very nicely. And the biggest thing right now is just I have some systems to learn. My only criticism so far of the aircraft from a functional state is this. When you turn the lights on, it starts to get very jittery in the cockpit. And I should find out, let's see, is that affecting the frames themselves? Kind of is. That's 15, 14, that's pretty low. Now it's back up 20.
Yeah, considering you're running default scenery.
Yeah, this is default scenery and it's Fresno, so it's very lightweight default scenery, so that's a little scary. Whereas if I turn the landing lights off, whoops, I turn them all off. Now my frame rates are stable at 30. So I lose about half the frame rates with the lights come on. That's pretty bad. So something's going to have to happen with that. And Chili was having the same problem with his system. I think we've identified the problem is the lights. It doesn't do it at cruise as much because the lights have nothing to reflect on. But once you get anywhere near the ground where the lights can start to have an effect, it does happen. I'm going to park this thing right here real quick. I'm going to leave the engines running, and I'm going to go mess with the HDR settings in the thing here and see if that changes anything. Once I remember where that is, graphics.
Well, I've got an early up there, Moose, so I'm going to have to back out of here.
Okay.
You have a good weekend. I am occupied all weekend.
All right.
So you flying Friday, Saturday?
Yeah, I'll be I think we're doing Alaska tomorrow, and then Saturday. Saturday's the what's it called thing in LA?
Oh yeah.
What
Sacramento something or other.
Screamin', Cal Scream. So it's not LA, it's just California. So it's between Oakland and so I'll be doing the LA to Vegas and Vegas to Vegas back. So probably
I
in
tried
the
to jump
MD.
San Diego when you were working ground.
Oh yeah.
But I couldn't get it on.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll do that again. I'll start texting out whenever I'm on there, just so if people want to jump on, they can. David Rothmuller got on there and did. So I had one guy from our group do it, which is cool. So, all right, you have a good weekend as well, and I will see you later, man.
Yep. You take care, guys.
Yeah, Tim, take care.
Yep.
Okay, we'll see you
take
later.
care, Mike.
Yep.
Okay, so we killed the HDR, which, wow, that changed the lighting in the sim dramatically. And let's see, what does that do for my lights? Oh, nope. Okay, it's not the HDR because it's the exact same deal. So, okay, well, at least we can rule that out now, which is good because I don't like turning that off because I like the HDR. So we'll do that. Let's see, line of lights, illuminate ground, we'd want that. Let me turn dynamic lighting off, which I don't know what the difference is there. Whoa. Nope. Not the dynamic lighting. So I don't know that it's going to be something I can mess with here. But let's keep playing with this. Let's see, vehicle shadow quality, shadows. I don't really care about that. Texture resolution. The anti-aliasing is 4x. Let's see what MSA.
Is that all 4x?
That's 4x. I'm not even running 8x. Let's see what that does, if anything. Once it finishes loading everything back in. Man, that took a while. Oh. Way. So 4x on the MSAA. Now the anti-aliasing quality isn't quite as good. So there's that. But let me try with 8x on the MSAA and see if that but that solved my lighting problem. Let's jump that up to 8x, see what happens. The anti-aliasing still isn't the best because that's MSAA instead of the other one. I could live with that, though. It's not the most ideal thing in the world, but...
Yeah, but your frames are back up, right?
My frames are fantastic now, and that's with the lights on.
Okay.
So I definitely... well, maybe I can't live with that. It looks pretty nasty outside. Maybe I could live with it for this aircraft only, but when you get close, it's not bad. From a distance, you really see the... starts to see the kind of nastiness of the lines of the aircraft. Looks kind of eh. But hey, if it keeps it smooth when I turn the lights on, maybe that's not such a bad idea. Let me let's see here. Let's keep the experiment going here, and let's change it to 2x SSAA and see what that looks like. Well, that's better than it is on the 4x. And the look is a little, well, the looks pretty, the looks better than it is on the MS. Not by much. Yeah, you really don't want to go down to 2x. That's pretty kind of lame. FXAA. I don't even know what that is. What if I do that and that? I don't know what FXAA is. Yeah, I don't know.
See if I can find something on it.
Yeah, David, I took off and just did a quick little flight around Fresno real quick and then landed back. Thing handles very nicely. We're just trying to solve an issue with the lights causing a stuttering of the cockpit and the frames. Interscopic 4x, that's texture filtering.
FXAA stands for Fast Approximate Anti-Aliasing.
Oh, okay. So what's the difference between MSAA and SSAA then, since you're looking at that?
Basically, it appears that FXAA ignores polygons, which is kind of it. That's probably why you saw a jump in your frames.
Oh, okay. That's the FXAA or the MSAA?
FXAA basically ignores polygons and line edges.
Okay. What's MSAA as opposed to SSAA?
Hold on.
Mike Sierra versus Sierra Sierra. Let's see what 8x SSAA does. I've been running 4. Oh, that took a nice hit on my frames. Yeek. It looks very nice, but that's, yeah, ugh. Nope, that's not flyable. Let's go back to 4x. That's at least doable, although with the lights off, it's better. There we go. Yeah, because you can really tell a difference outside the aircraft when it comes to the lines of the aircraft. By the way, guys, I think this is just gorgeous. You have to hear this. This is the engine sound spooling up. Isn't that lovely? Parth, how's it going, man? Sorry, this is my other complaint with the QualityWings. So between the lighting, which I think I can fix, just messing with anti-aliasing, I shouldn't have to, really, but maybe that's just reality, and maybe that's what I need to do with my 717 when I fly it, too, just because the way it uses the lights. But this right here, you notice this little kind of weird dome. It looks like an igloo out here on the runway. This is the shadow of the VC. Outside the aircraft, you'll actually see the entire aircraft shadow, like that, like you should. But inside, when you're in the VC, it's only viewing the VC model shadow, so that's kind of a little good of a goof there. It looks really lame. I mean, we can obviously fix that by just turning the shadowing off, but it's kind of dumb. So I guess internal vehicle. Cast, receive. Oh, I see. No, that's what that is. So I think that's going to be, if I do that, that'll kill that. No. I would think that would have turned off the shadow. Maybe it's that? Whoop. Why did you take my entire... Oh. It's like it took my whole plane away. But see, now I don't think it's going to... anything internally isn't going to cast a shadow either, which is going to be lame when we do lighting, so you wouldn't want to do that necessarily. That's an unfortunate compromise, so... It'll receive shadows, but it won't cast them. Yeah, did you find out what the difference between the MSAA and the SSAA was?
Yeah, I'll read something to you here real quick. Let me put it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, MSAA only fixes edges around defined objects. It will not fix textures, and it will not fix transparencies, and it will not fix shaders. FXAA is a post-process AA method. It takes a completed image, analyzes it, and attempts to fix what it can figure out on the image. This method will fix aliasing on transparencies, texture shaders, and around objects, but it will not fix subpixel aliasing or aliasing. It can mess up text a bit and cause images to look a bit blurry. And I think we're talking about FXAA there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so clearly SSAA is the best one, which is why it caused the biggest hit, but it also then causes the lights to go a little pooey on the thing. And where you notice the most in the cockpit is really when it comes to fine lines and stuff on your displays. So speaking of which, now that it's getting a little dark, let me try... let's see, the dome light is a bit overkill. So let's not do that. I don't know what that master light is a reference to. I don't see anything happening. That looks like poop, but I think that's because I need to turn on the HD textures for that. That just is awful. What is this one? That's already on. Wait a minute. Oh. Oh, I see. So I can just hit this button and it turns everything, all the panel lights on. I think. Maybe. Yeah, it does. Oh, that's cool. Cool. Can't talk. That's cool. All right, so the flood on the pedestal looks okay. Let's see, is there a flood for the main panel somewhere? Is that down here somewhere? It looks okay over here. See, something happens over here where it just looks really it looks like 640 by 680 by 440 or whatever that resolution is. It just looks awful. Like, what is that? That one and the glare shield. I mean, what is that? Why does this look okay and that look like poop? I don't get it. It's just weird. Oh, I see. You do need that to light up the buttons. Okay. Yeah, that's just right out. It's right out. So we still need to figure out too how to do this landing altitude thing. Let me see if I can find that in the manual here real quick. Hey Moose, yeah, what's up, Parth? So I just wait for an update to the lights, and there might be one. I'm hoping there will be. I mean, it's not a deal breaker. I'm not gonna poo-poo the airplane because the panel lighting looks like that. I mean, overall, it's a very complex aircraft and it flies very well. Every aircraft's gonna have some idiosyncrasy thing that you're not gonna like. Let's see. Oh, I'm right here on the thing here too. Okay, recirculation, aft equipment cooling, cabin temperature, alternate ventilation. No, where's the 3? There we go. Landing altitude selector. Pull on and then rotate. Sets landing altitude manually. Landing altitude followed by manual displayed on ICAST. Related messages landing altitude. The selected landing altitude can be viewed in the ICAST. The landing altitude normally is set automatically once the destination has been entered when programming on FMS route. Well, I set a destination though. So how do you set it back to automatic if it's set to manual? Because it's also not displaying a landing altitude. That's what's weird
Well,
here.
it sat there and said that you pulled the button to set it in manual. Do you just have to push the button back in?
Well, see, I tried that, and it didn't change. So if you want, this is the other problem, is I can't see, because these panels are clickable, like you can't click them and have them pop out onto the screen and make them big. There might be a way to do it, but I don't know what it is.
Well, just try and double click on it.
No, it just makes clicking noises. Yeah, I'm trying like corners. I wonder if there's like a, oh, aha, there it is. Sweetness, okay. So it's this little white button down here does the trick. So if I pull it, so it says manual, this is where I'm looking at right here, manual, landing altitude. If I pull it, and then I can turn it, and I'm not seeing anything change on the readout. And if I push it back in, it still says manual, so nothing changes. It's really weird. I wonder if I set a, let me try setting a destination airport that's different than where I'm at. Maybe that will do the trick. Route, let's do KSFO. All right. And no joy. Same thing. Bloop, bloop. Nope.
Yeah, you're just going to have to take some time with the manuals and learn the systems.
Yeah, I think so. I just tried resetting it back to auto on the outflows. The outflows are in auto. And those are just the override valve systems. Yeah. And we can reset. Doesn't do anything. Yeah, we're just going to have to figure that out in the manual somewhere. It'll probably tell me in the tutorial flight that I'll have to do. Let's put our flaps back up to 0 there. So yeah, that's kind of weird. All right, well, let's try doing this. Let's try setting a route to San Francisco, for instance, and see if the automation will do its thing, and see what happens. Because why not? Group 1, how you doing, Al? Just finished the flight with the 7878 short flight. Click the white dot at the bottom. Yeah, I just discovered that. Thank you, though. Just found it. Yep. Good on you, though. Thank you so much for the hint. Let's see here. So KFAT, KFSO, yeah. We're gonna do next page. Actually, no, we're gonna do approach departure. We're just gonna do 29 right. We're not gonna do any special departure out of here. And then route, we'll do. Let's see here. We fly up to, is it EHF? I'm trying to remember my VORs around here. EHF. No, that's Shafter. That's not what I want. It's the wrong way. It's El Nido. It's the El Nido VOR, which I think is going away actually, or maybe it already did. Let me pull up Navigraph. There's a map. What a concept. What a concept. By Grapthar's hammer. What a savings. Alright, come on. Loading. Oh, I completely forgot I was gonna... Alright, well, for the flight part of it, we'll do this. We gotta represent here.
Why don't you just go over Modesto?
There we go. I gotta put the Boeing hat on here. So you said, why don't we just go over Modesto? I might do that. I'm waiting for this map to load so I can figure out what... Because I need to cut over to... over to San Jose at some point, and then go up the peninsula to San Francisco. Where McClellan? No, we're close, but not quite. That's wrong area. Okay, here we go. There's Fresno. So, are you showing me? Okay, there's Clovis VR. Oh, there's El Nido. It's still there. Okay. HYP. I don't remember it being HYP, really? Okay, well, I guess. I suppose. Although we could do... Well, that's kind of a... Yeah, let's not do that. So yeah, if we do El Nido, which is HYP, which is Merced, and then from there we'll fly to the San Jose VOR, and then up in the approach for San Francisco. So let's do that. Let's do that. So we'll do HYP, Hotel Yankee Papa, bloop, and then we'll do SJC for San Jose, which is 114.6. Don't ask me how I have that memorized for some reason, but I do. And then the arrival into San Francisco, I'm not going to do a whole star because that's not necessary, but let's do 28 right, and we'll get on to Dumba, which is Dumbarton, the bridge. Let's go back to our route. Dumba from SJC, we'll execute that, or activate that, execute that, boom. Alright, let's look at our legs. Boom, 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 boom. Good deal. Cruise altitude, we will do, let's see, 190. We're not going to go very high. No, let's go to 240. This thing can do it. Whoa.
I go up to 41,000. Come on.
Well, I know, but I'm talking about in the short amount of time that I have to get there. That's my...
Oh, I know.
FMC pre-flight complete. Oh, that's cool. I don't remember getting that before. All right. So thrust limit. We'll go ahead and use. Actually, I'm gonna derate because we got thrust up the wazoo. And now takeoff. That'll stay the same. So we'll set trim for. It was telling me earlier no V speeds, but well maybe now it's saying okay. So I guess we're okay. All right. So we'll do that. HYP. HYP. It's like NYC. Okay. Don't listen to me. All right. All this is still pretty much essentially set from before. We're going to go ahead and set our flaps down to 5 again for our departure. And we'll set auto brake to RTO. This time we're going to use the automation. So we're going to go ahead and flight director is on. Can I arm LNAV, VNAV now? I can. Haha. Alrighty. And I'll set this all the way up to what we're going to, which is 240. And I'm going to do some more other things here. So what is the current altimeter setting at Fresno is 299.3, so practically standard. And we set that here. Are we in? I can't tell what mode we're in. I think that's in. Is that inches or hectopascal? I can't tell. Is there like a indicator dot or something? Oh, there it is. Okay, so yeah, now we're in inches. Okay, good. All right, so that's inches, and it's actually set to 999.3. Look at that. Okay, it anticipated my whim. Fantastic. Okay, sweetness. So that is set. Our winds are still 300 at 14 now. Winds picked up. Okay, that's fine. 300 at 14. So we're still 29 right. That's fine. Parking brake release. Auto brake RTO. All right, let's do this. Let's fly to San Francisco, guys. Let's see how this goes. A little short hop over to Frisco. Our trim needs to be 4.0, so let me see if I can... Trim doesn't seem to be wanting to move. Why is that? Yeah, I'm not seeing that move. Why am I not seeing that move? Yeah, supposed to be 4. It's set to 575. Why? Why don't they not move, huh? I'm gonna do alternate pitch trim.
Hey, heads up, Mike, you're rolling.
I know.
Oh,
But,
okay.
yeah, no, I intentionally let off the brake and gave myself a little bit of thrust. I'm just in the meantime trying to figure out why I can't adjust my pitch trim. That's a little it's a little unnerving. Let me cycle my hydraulics for a moment and see if that does anything for me. This thing likes to dip to the one side. I don't know why that is. Do we have more thrust? No, asymmetric. There's no asymmetric thrust. So I wonder if that's just my rudder pedals are being ornery. It could be.
Do you have a dead zone in your pedals?
I do. I don't remember on the pedals. High-speed taxi. All right. Yeah, that is really. I wonder why I can't. I thought I was trimming earlier. Maybe I wasn't. Maybe that's why I was having trouble keeping the nose level. It's moving the trim, but
that would explain why it was wanting to nose up.
right, because it wasn't responding to my trim inputs.
Do you have an auto trim set on your controls?
I don't. I have a trim set on my controls. Yeah, not. And I'm moving it, and I hear it click when I do it, but nothing. Nothing is responding.
But no indications of plane you're moving trim. Huh?
I don't. And even when I manually click them on the yoke, I see it move,
Yeah.
and I don't see a response on the readout.
Okay.
So I don't think that it's my yoke not assigned right. I even tried doing the alternate pitch trim, and it didn't. It's not doing anything either. So that is very strange. It's very difficult to keep this thing going in a straight line. I wonder if you can map like a. Does that move that thing? Yeah, it does. The tiller's moving. I wonder if you can map a specific tiller for it. This thing really likes to start moving on its own. Oh, the thrust is idle too. Jeepers. Alright, I'm going to stop here for a second and see if I can address the trim. Parking brake. Nope. Parking brake. There we go. Okay, let's see here. If I do... What's going on in here? No. Yeah, see, it's moving it, but it's not... I mean, it's moving the switch, but it's not reacting. That's alternate flaps. Well, let's do this. Let's look at the hydraulics and see if there's something missing here. Now, all the hydraulic systems are go. Where's my flight controls? Here we go. Yeah, it no move. Let me see other things. So rudder, full left, full right. The rudder... Oh, nope, the rudder is not centered. Yeah, okay, so that's me. That's my controls. Yeah, that's why I keep wanting to dogleg to the side. All right, well, that answers that anyway. There's the elevator. Full back. Ailerons. Yep. Everything works except the trim. That's disturbing. Gabe Evans, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. You know how to get the trim to work on the 7.8? It's quite a conundrum. Electrical system, flight deck access, miscellaneous system controls. I don't know why I can't do anything with that, but okay. Maybe because the engines are on. I don't have any status message. Whoops. No circuit breaker, no. Huh. That's very strange. Hydraulics are all running. The one that, well, I guess all these run flight controls, and so that would be covered. So that shouldn't be a problem. That's very strange. Let's see if when we get in the air if I have control. I should be able to control it on the ground, though. There's no reason not to.
You have pitch trim on the trim wheel on the left side of your yoke in the VC.
Yeah, I tried that there too. It doesn't do it. It moves, but it
Okay.
doesn't respond. So yeah. So I tried the alternates. I tried the normal pitch, and everything's a no-go. See ya, Gemini Jets. Hey, Parth. Actually, before I go, I want to be able to use my lights, so I'm going to change my setting here to the 8x MSAA. And alt that down. Taxi light on.
Oh, I got something for you.
What do you got?
Pitch trim is controlled by the dual pitch trim switches on each control wheel. Both switches must be moved to command trim changes. The primary pitch trim switches are inhibited when the autopilot is engaged. Pitch trim does not move the control column.
Well, the autopilot's
so that
not.
might be a partial solution.
The autopilot's not engaged though, so it shouldn't be inhibited. And I just turned the flight director off and the autopilot disengaged switch to make sure. And nothing is engaged. And still no pitch trim command. That's very strange. I wonder what that's up with that. This is annoying though. I just realized when I do the downgrade of the, at least it looks normal there. Downgrading the MSAA puts this kind of like grid pattern on my display there. It's not very fun to look at. Makes the flight director really hard to see, but we'll see if we can learn to live with it. We'll see if we can learn to live with it. Don't use the weather radar; it will air out the sim. Yeah, no, I did. I noticed that on Chili's stream. So yeah, the weather radar is not active at the moment, per that. So thank you though. I wonder if where's the toga switch on this thing? Is that this?
Check thrust.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Pull it back. Pull it back. All right. I only engaged toga on one engine. That was great. All right. You can
Asymmetric takeoff, huh?
Yeah, that would not be good. All right, so there's the toga switches, but they're only engaged individually. So we'll see if my toga switch that I have mapped here works. It might not. Lewis Simulations, how's it going, sir? Welcome to the stream. For me, it's working. You have to have active sky. Oh, you mean for the weather radar? I have active sky, so it might work for me. I'm not going to try it on this stream just because I don't want to crash it unnecessarily. I'll do that offline. I'll play Sacrificial Lamb when I'm not streaming for all you guys people, but that's good to know. Although Chili was messing with the weather radar and it crashed on him, and he has active sky as far as I know as well. So I think that's not necessarily the issue. Sean McConnell, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. All right, we're just gonna go over here. Let's see, do my landing light switches work? Yeah. Drops the frames again a little bit, but I can kind of live with it. Let me turn the taxi light off now that... Oh, that helped. Okay, so yeah, having as few lights on at a time does make a difference. But yeah, they're going to have to address that because that's pretty substantial. Or someone needs to figure out a fix for that anyway. Okay, Togo is also the screw head above the autopilot button. You mean the below the autopilot button? That guy right there, okay. All right, I got it mapped, so we'll see if the map works. So RTO, flaps 5, trim is meh. We'll find out. Let's go flying. So we'll set, get the engine stable here, and then I'll see if my toga button works. That's almost 60%. Come on, there you go. Toga? Yeah! Toga map works.
We're having a toga party now.
That's right. Toga, toga, toga.
Does it accelerate slowly, or does this then really kick it in the butt?
No, once it gets going, it gets going.
Okay.
The engines do take a little bit of time to spool up. There is some definite throttle lag, which is nice because that's probably very realistic. But so you just got to know that. So once, like, I pushed it to 50% or 60% N1, and it took a little while to get there before it made that. So let's see, let's go gear up. We'll start tracking over to El Nido. All right, gears up. Yeah, I really cannot see that the flight director, the horizontal bar. I mean, I can kind of if I really squint. So that's a downside of turning down the anti-aliasing stuff, because it really does kill that. Just set my computer back up after. Oh, set it up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, those Windows updates can be brutal, right? All right, this thing's telling me to. You gotta kind of accelerate here, and I'm gonna ignore the flight director and do it manually, because that's kind of ridiculous. We'll get it once we get the flaps set. Then we'll go ahead and engage the automation and see how that does. Oh, of course, I don't have LNAV VNAV. That would be why. I forgot I reset the autopilot, so it turned those off. That might be why. There we go. Sean McConnell, thanks for joining the Moose Crew. Welcome aboard, sir. Good to have more West Winners on the channel. Love it.
After takeoff checklist?
Sure. Oh, yeah, I can do that here, huh? Checklist. Landing gear up. Oh, flaps we're still working on that. That's right.
Hey, Sean, how you doing? Can he hear me?
He should be able to hear you, yeah.
Okay.
You have to have LNAV, VNAV. Yeah, I know. I saw that. Thanks, Lewis. I forgot that I hit that disconnect to try and get the trim to work. So, in fact, I need to see if the trim is working now. Although my trim indications have gone away, so I have no idea. Let me see here. Let me find it real fast if it's working now.
Well, you didn't really get a violent pitch upward or downward when you engaged.
No, and I'm holding the trim back, and it's not really doing anything. I don't think it's working. I'm gonna go ahead and engage the autopilot here. See what that does. All right, there's the checklist complete for that. Are we on? Let me just make sure I'm tracking the right thing here. Okay, good. Ooh. Sky's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's magenta, right?
Which one? The flight director or the?
Yeah, the line you're tracking is magenta, right?
Yes, yeah. That's why I want to make sure. I don't want to be tracking something else. That is Mark. Yep.
Follow the magenta line.
That's right. Yeah, Grape One's in here. That's Al Stahlbacher, or whatever his last name is, the Atlanta HM.
Hi, Al.
And Sean says, yes, I can hear you. So there you go. Sean,
I read that too.
Yeah, Sean, type in exclamation point TeamSpeak, and you can get the TeamSpeak channel. All right, what's our altitude? Oh, we're above 11,000. Let's go ahead and turn our landing lights off. Strobe should actually be on at this point, by the way. And I still got that caution light. Where's my recall button? I saw that somewhere. Surprised it's not telling me what the caution light is referring to. Maybe it finally figured that out. Maybe it says landing altitude manual because I'm on the ground. Maybe you can't set it ahead of time. Maybe that's what that is. Speed bug is not there. Well, actually, the speed bug is there. It's right there. I turned the anti-aliasing setting way down so the landing lights wouldn't blow out on me. So you see the speed bug right there. It's just these lines, the magenta stuff, becomes very difficult to see when you're using the lower anti-aliasing setting, unfortunately. So you can see it if you know what you're looking for, but yeah, it's not obvious, which is kind of unfortunate. I still would like to see outside view here. It's pretty cool. 787. Al says hi, Mark.
Yeah.
And I lost my ability to see the trim setting stuff. Why is that? No, 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 no. Yeah, is there a place to do something with the iCast besides engine? I guess not. You'd think there'd be a place where you could see your trim readout to know it was working. Oh, actually, I guess I could do it. Not there. That's checklist. Systems. Flight controls. What does that say? Flight control mode is normal. Okay. Well, I'm not messing with the trim. Someone has, so the autopilot can do it. But for some reason, I can't. I mean, I understand why I can't now, but I'm pretty sure I wasn't messing with it before. Briangren, Mark is the our CEO for West Wind Airlines. He's the big man in charge. He's our president and CEO. And then Sean is one of my guys that helps with the aircraft. He's also an HM for, I think he's New York now. Is that right?
Yep.
And then Al's our HM for Atlanta, who's Grape One. He's on here as well. So we've got some West Wind guys. David Rothmuller was on here. I'm not sure if he still is in the Twitch stream. And you really want the descent checklist? We haven't even reached the cruise. Calm yourself. Oh, did we hit top of descent? Is that what happened? We must... There's no way we're at top of descent already. I think
you didn't set altitude that high.
Well, I know, but we're only at 19,000. We didn't. It doesn't even want to go to 2240 before it goes down. Does he fly for the real airlines? Are you talking about Mark? No, he does not. Tim right now is the only one I know of that's a real airline pilot. I actually go to church. There's a guy at our church that flies. I think he's the first officer for. I don't know if it's Southwest, but he flies 737s. He's kind of hard to pin down, though, for obvious reasons. All right. Yeah, I think it's wanting. What does it show our profile somewhere? It should. Oh, you know what? There's a way to do that. Hang on. How did he get that before? Go back to the ND menu. Where was that? VSD. There we go. Oh yeah, we are supposed to be on descent profile. There we go. All right. I'll play along. I will play along. Now let's see if I have to command it or if it will just do it. No, it's going to figure it out. All right, good for you. Smart jet. Smarter than some of the other Boeings. I'm not at liberty to say who Tim flies for. That's I got to let Tim... I know who he flies for, and a lot of people do, but we make it a point not to say it on stream unless he wants to give that away. The reasoning for that, guys, just so you know, it's not that he doesn't want to tell you, but it can be construed sometimes when he starts talking about aviation that his opinions and his comments can be construed as the company line if everyone knows the company he flies for. And so the general rule of thumb is we just don't talk about that. It's just known he flies for a commercial aviation company, and he flies 7.5s and 7.6s. So if you can figure it out, good for you. And he might tell you in offlining, but we try not to say that on stream. So I want to respect him that way. Okay, so it did want us to switch to standard, which I'm going to switch right back in a second because we're at 18,700. But we'll see what happens here. It's the beautiful 787.
Planned altitude?
240. Never made it.
And it never got there, did it?
Nope. Now, it probably could have. It gave me a top of climb before the El Nido VOR, And it might have been able to get there had I let it do the climb the entire time, but I had it stuck on not LNAV VNAV, so it didn't accelerate and didn't do it. So we climbed out a lot slower, I think, than we should have out of Fresno. So it might have gotten to it, and it was probably going to hit top of climb and go right back to top of descent would be my guess. It's descending extremely slowly, so I'm guessing it just wants to do that to try and conserve speed. It's probably part of its economics programming would be my guess. Can we land at Alcatraz? Unfortunately, no, because there is no runway at Alcatraz. It is a prison on a rock. Not enough room for a 787, let alone anything else. So no.
We can crash into it, though.
Yeah, we can crash into Alcatraz, but we definitely cannot land on Alcatraz. So that's just the way of it. What is the descent checklist anyway? Let's see what he wants me to do. Altimeters, yeah. So we're below now, so we'll set that back. So boom, descent checklist complete.
Yeah, you got what, 3005, right?
No, I just sent it back to what it was before, so I'm going to check that right now. Is that what San Francisco's showing for METAR?
Yeah, I think so. Hold on.
So 3006, close. Close. So 3006.
I'll take that.
That's 7, that's 6, there we go, okay. The 5 and the 6 look very similar, so. What about on the Golden Gate? Yeah, there's something called those wires that, you know, would get in the way. Might clip our wings a bit. Probably not most ideal situation in the world, you know. Probably not anyway. I don't even know what that is. Cool. Okay, so tomorrow is Friday Night Ops is in Alaska, I believe. So if you guys have any suggestions on where you'd like to fly and what, we've got a couple options now. We can do the 7.3, we can do the 7.4, we can do the MD-80. I don't think the 7.1 is quite up to snuff yet, so I'm probably not going to take the 7.1. Don't hit a tree, Tarzan. Oh, be quiet. That's my roommate. So we'll see what we're going to do. If you got any suggestions or requests. Not too long. It's Friday Night Ops, so we don't want it to be a huge flight. I think the longest we would probably do would be from Seattle to Anchorage. Because I think that's about 2 hours, I want to say. I think that's about right.
I think it's 3, but okay.
Okay, maybe it's 3. It's been a while since I've done that flight, so I'm just going off memory. Maybe it's 2.5. We'll split the difference. It's a beautiful airplane to fly, though. I'll tell you that. Once you know the systems and what it's doing, it looks great. It looks even better when you're running the anti-aliasing in full mode, so the lights don't screw you up. But this will do. We gotta get this. I'll get this into Westwind livery. Tim
so
was.
You think we're gonna put it in the? Are we gonna put it in the hangar?
Oh, we've got to put it in the hangar. That's just has to happen. Everyone's gonna want a 787. I think the 787 is it not in the hangar now? I mean, this aircraft, obviously, particular one is not because I haven't painted it. But is the 787 as an airplane an option in the hangar? I would think it is.
I believe I've seen it in there.
Who we got? Is that Sean?
Yeah.
Welcome to the TeamSpeak, Sean. Let's see, I'm looking right now. Airport and scenery, Westwind, Boeing. Yep, 787. We've only got 787-10 in the hangar, and it's not even been... is that even out from Boeing yet?
I believe that's the TDS model on the 10.
Got it. Why don't we fly to Moscow? Because that's not anywhere near Alaska. While Sarah Palin claims she could see Russia from her house, that was not the part of Russia she was referring to. Other side of Russia. Approach checklist you want, huh? Okay. That's the landing checklist. How do I get to the approach checklist? Can I... Wait, what? Let's see here. How do I navigate this thing? Normal menu. I don't want the landing checklist. I want the... Oh, here we go. Approach checklist. There we go. I already did that. Altimeters and... yeah, we're good. All right. Next! Because now if I hit it again, I think it gives me the... Yeah, so speed brake, landing gear, and flaps are the only... for the landing checklist. We'll go ahead and set the auto brake to 2 for the landing. And I guess we should figure out what our landing speed's going to be. So we'll do flap 30. That's going to be 136. Wonderful. Wonderful. And all I see is clouds right now. Where are we? We're 21 miles from the San Jose VOR. We're about to cross below 10,000, so I think it's trying to slow us down, or it's going to slow us down here in a moment. You can use it in a flight plan. Wait, use what in a flight plan? Leave from Ketchikan and land in Kodiak. I feel I'm going to need a tiny... Well, I don't know what the runways are like over there. Maybe it's a tiny plane. I don't know. Gigawatts is spelled with a G there, buddy. It was a mispronunciation of what today we call the gigawatt, or the gigabyte. It's 1.21 gigabytes, spelled with a G. They just didn't know back then that you would pronounce it as a giga instead of a giga, apparently. They are synonymous. I looked it up. Interesting fun fact, though. There is a high voltage DC transmission line that runs from the Pacific Northwest down to Los Angeles, and as you come through the I-5 from the mountains right as you're entering San Fernando Valley, there's a big SoCal Edison substation there, and a bunch of wires going across. And you'll see one wire pole. All transmission towers have 3 wires per side, or 3 wires total. They're all in sets of 3s. There's one set of poles that only has 2 wires, and that's the high voltage DC transmission line, and it is carrying, if I recall correctly, a capacity of 3.1 gigawatts of power. So there you go. Tons of power. So it could send the...
Big electricity.
It's big electricity, that's right. 3.1 gigawatts. That's a lot of power. So... All right. Grape 1787. You can use it in a flight plan. I still don't understanding your premise there, Grape. Not sure what you're referring to. Looks like you got 3 people in Twitch watching. Welcome, guys. Feel free to be part of the conversation. Love to hear from you guys. Make sure to hit that follow button. I need to get my followers up so that way I can start hitting the next echelons of the Twitch status. So more followers you get, the better. You should touch it. No, I should not. Should not touch it. Although it's DC, so as long as I don't touch the other side, I really should be fine. That's the key. Just don't complete the circuit. Alright, so it's holding me right at... Oh, I need to go back to my ND here. Are we still on profile? I guess kind of. Let's suck our range in there a little bit. Yeah, I guess so. Okay. We want to cross Dumba, it looks like, at about 1,800 feet, so... And we're just about to cross the... We better start... I guess it's going to start going down here in a second. Oh, it's because I leveled us off at 10,000, that's why. Be a pilot. How about... What a thought. There we go. Alright, so we're crossing below 10,000, so landing light's coming back on. it's going to try and drop us fast. So I'm going to set the speed brake on here. Try and help. Can we fly to Spain? We already flew into Spain. We did our Euro ops. You have to go back and watch it. Yeah, I know most people are watching on YouTube. I can tell who's watching on YouTube and who's watching Twitch because you have the YouTube icon by when you chat. The Twitch people come up with the Twitch icon. Unable to maintain VNAV. Yeah, obviously, because this thing can't fall like a rock and hold its speed. So I'm gonna go ahead and accept an overspeed in this case for the altitude drop. We'll let it get down. We'll let it get down. Coming on down. Downtown. I wonder if turning up the brightness on the... Let's see, how do I get to that? Menu, maybe? No. Yeah, where was that? Info, com, there's it under info. QualityWings config, yeah, there we go. If we turn that up to that, whoops, CDU. Ooh, there's the Dunbarton Bridge. Oh, that helps. Yeah, turning up the brightness makes the magenta a lot easier to see. Okay. That's good to know. Come on,
that looks like a flight control now.
Yeah, exactly. I can actually see it. Parth, you go right ahead and do the Tide Pod challenge if you want. That's all you, buddy. But seriously, don't eat Tide Pods. All right, next bridge we should see should be San Mateo. And there it is. And we're going to turn toward runway heading now. Speed is coming a little bit back under control as we level off here. I'm going to try putting the flaps down a notch and see if that helps. That was an interesting thing. And I've got the PAPI lights in sight for San Francisco. This airport right here, guys, this is where Hiller Aviation Museum is, right there. It's a cool little aviation museum if you're ever up in the Bay Area. Got a cockpit of a 747-100 you can go into and play around in. It's so much fun. Yep, passing your house, Briangren. He lives over here in Palo Alto. So I feel like I was just there. If you want to see what that looks like in real world, watch my little driving video from Fresno to San Francisco International. That's up on the YouTube channel. All right, great. We'll see you later, man. Thanks for stopping by, Al. Why did people do the type of challenge if you should not eat Tide Pods? Because they're idiots. People that eat Tide Pods are idiots. Sorry if that sounds harsh, but that's the reality. If you put laundry detergent in your mouth, you're an idiot. No two ways around it.
If you do that, you deserve it.
Absolutely. You know, if we're going to have evolution and Darwin and all stuff, then let's have evolution and Darwin. Rid the population. As was it Scrooge said, and rid us of the surplus population.
Is that the Bay Bridge coming into view?
Over this right here, San Mateo. Bay Bridge is over here. I think that's Treasure Island there, so it's the connection is right there to there. There's part of the span you can see, I think.
Okay.
And then the Golden Gate's on the other side of this hill over here in the entrance to the Bay Area. All right, gear down and flaps 20.
Might you hand flying this?
Right now, I'm just letting the automation do it. I think I'm gonna hand fly it though, because it's more fun that way. Because where's the fun? Can I disconnect? No. So, autopilot disengage. Yeah. Shut up. Okay. My airplane. And we're getting high now, of course. As soon as I take control. Let's go. Flaps 25. So we need to dump down here, get back on glide path. Come on. Down, boy. Can I mess with the... let's see. I really don't want to do this right now, but am I doing anything with it? No. Yeah, I'm still not doing anything with the trim, so that needs to... I need to figure out what's going on there.
Landing checklist.
Yeah, it's complete. I mean, it's complete enough. Flaps coming in 30, gears down, green light, and the auto brakes are 2. Oh, there we go. There it dropped suddenly. Oh, that would help too. There we go. Arm the spoiler instead of having it engaged. Good idea. Novel idea. Okay, there we go. That's much better.
1,000.
1,000 to go. All right. Our first ever destination in the 787. Fresno to San Francisco. And so far, we're not doing too shabby. Got the strobes. We're going to try our hardest not to pull an Asiana. Because for some reason, flying a visual approach in San Francisco is so difficult. This is San Francisco by flight beam.
300.
So if you've got default, it will not look like this.
Minimums.
Landing.
200. 100.
This thing is so stable. It's beautiful. I love it.
50.
This aircraft really is a joy to fly. I mean, it just hand flies so nice. Nope, don't do that. And reverser's coming in. Skid marks look purple there. That's kind of interesting. I wonder. See some weird little texture goof. It's kind of odd. And 70 knots will cut the reverse. And tap the auto brakes to disengage. We'll go manual controls.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be taxiing for the next few minutes, so please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened.
Yes, see that you do.
The fasten seatbelt sign. At that time, please remember to check around your seating area, in the seat pockets, and overhead bins.
This is the captain speaking. Please don't listen to the wench that is talking to you, because there's no one on board this plane. It was a test flight. Contents. No content shifted out. Landing lights coming off. We'll go ahead and put the taxi light on. Wow, as soon as I looked up to the taxi light on, my plane shifts to the right again. There's something to that. If I look to the left, will I go to the left? Kind of. Interesting. I wonder if that's a... Okay, experiment time. Stand by. This is interesting. Okay, we're going to come to a stop. I'm going to stay off the rudders. I'm looking straight ahead. Okay, plane's going to start to go forward. It should stay relatively forward because there's no asymmetric thrust right now. Although it's not staying relatively forward. It actually is going to the left ever so slightly. If I look to the right... No, okay, good. Alright, so maybe there's just an involuntary action of my legs as I look to the right. That could maybe it's just me. I don't know. Had to make sure. You never know. Weird things. All right. So overall assessment of this plane in the short amount of time I've had a chance to fly it. Frames are dipping a little bit here, but that's probably because this is a high intensity airport and we've got the taxi light on. I think that taxi light goes off. That'll help. Yep. So the lighting really does kill, in this particular airplane, really does kill the frames. The exterior lighting, that is. So that's my biggest beef. In fact, that's really my only beef with this airplane. The other little idiosyncrasies are stuff that I just don't know how the airplane functions yet. So that's not a strike against the airplane. That's just me not having learned it yet. So I'm gonna have to spend some time with the manual and just learn this plane. But on the whole, Chili said he gave this airplane an 8 out of 10. I think that's a fair assessment. I mean, it's not a PMDG. It's so it's not a complete study level. It feels like it's fairly close. They've modeled a lot of systems, and you can do a lot of things. There's a lot of cool features in this aircraft. I definitely think it's worth the $60 or the $70, whatever it costs. It's definitely a step above a Captain Sim aircraft. Whereas before the QualityWings 757, I did not feel that. I felt the 757 was actually maybe a little bit below the Captain Sim as far as the systems programming goes. The sound model was above Captain Sim, but the systems program definitely was not, in my opinion. This one, I think, definitely outshines the Captain Sim on both levels. I mean, not that Captain Sim has a 787, but as far as a newer, more accurate, more up-to-date today, one of the more current releases for Captain Sim compared to this. So my assessment definitely worth the price tag. It's got a few little quirks. I'm sure there's some stuff that qualities. It just released yesterday, so I'm sure there's some things that are going to go, oh, you know what, we got to fix that. And maybe the lighting is one of those things. They're going to figure out how to deal with that, because that's going to be a killer if it just kills the frame rates if you use the lights, because you got to use the lights. I mean, it just looks weird if you don't. So, or you don't fly at night anymore. You just fly during the day. That's lame. So. Otherwise, I think the aircraft's stunning. The only other dig to the airplane, and that's a point Chili pointed out, is the light maps in the floods for the glare shield and on the main panel are kind of poop. They look like graphics from like before the 2000s, like 1990s graphics. Like it's that kind of quality. I don't know why that is, because the center panel and the side panels look great. So there's really no reason for it, aside from someone just didn't do their thing. It probably will look a little better when I do the upgrade to the 240 textures, but the 2048 textures, whatever. I can't talk, but even still, I've seen them on Chili Stream. They're not that great when it comes to that. So something to work on, something to fix. There's room for improvement. But it's definitely not a worthless aircraft. It's definitely worth the money, in my opinion. It is a cool aircraft. It's fun to fly. It's great to fly. Hand flies beautifully. And once I understand why the trim doesn't work, it'll hand fly even better. I'm sure that's just something I have done wrong or not turned on or activated or something. So I'm not going to chalk that up to QualityWings. And now you're going to see why I use that nose wheel view right here, so I can get us on the lines. Let's see, 757, 787. Look, there it is. Boom, right there. Parking brake set. All right, I'm going to turn the dome light on, since now it's dark and this actually promotes. The dome light is great for being at the gate. It actually is probably not that bad when you're actually in cruise as well, because it's not overpowering. The 747 dome light can be overpowering depending on how you set the lights. That's probably my other biggest critique, is just the way the lighting is done in here. Overall, it's okay. There's just a few things that could be improved. It's not horrible, but it could be better. Reese taking flight. Hey, welcome to the stream, man. We're just kind of getting ready to shut down here, but thanks for coming. I'm just kind of giving my thoughts on the 7.8 here that I just bought from QualityWings. Again, this is the 7. Oh, my spoilers never came back down. This is the 787 from QualityWings for Prepared 3D, Prepared version 4. It's lighting up the. That's cool. The nav lights are on, and the strobes are just overpowering them, which the strobes really shouldn't be on right now anyway. I can deal with that, but I also should have put the flaps up, and we'll do that right now. I will work on getting this in Westwind livery. I very well may take Tim up on his request to do the paint on stream. If I do that, I may have to do it. I don't know. We'll see. Because painting an aircraft is very tedious, depending on the flight map. But it's also a cool thing to kind of show you how it's done and how my process works for doing that. So, but I'd love to get this thing in Westwind paint once we do that. I actually have a number of aircraft I need to paint now. I need to paint this. I need to paint the MD-80. Um, I need to paint the Aerosoft. I'd love to paint the TFDI 717, but they have yet to release their paint kit, so we're waiting on that 1.1 version, which who knows when that's going to come out. Hopefully, so I asked the guy, their community relations guy from TFDI at Flight SimCon last year in June, hey, when are we getting the paint kit? And he's like, oh, it's going to be any day now. It is almost Flight SimCon time again. 2 weeks from FS Expo, and it will have been a year, and still no paint kit. So clearly someone was overshooting that a little bit, but
Any day now.
But yeah. Sean McCall, you have the Aerosoft CRJ? That's awesome. All right, I have that too. So it's been on my list of things to paint. So I'll be quiet, David. So which one of us paints it first? I'll start. I'm gonna probably start with the 7.8 because I know that's gonna be popular, and that way we can get that in the hangar. And then I'll move on from there to the MD-80, and then if you haven't already done anything with the Aerosoft, then I'll hit that too. So I've got my my work cut out for me. So we're going into summer though. So
I haven't learned the FMC in that yet.
yeah, it's a little bit of a different animal. I actually have only done a handful of flights in it, and I need to get back into it now that I've got my new PC all set up. Because I haven't really flown it, I don't think, since I got the new PC, because I was having problems with frames on that one. And now that I've got this sucker, it should be a lot better. So yeah, Parth, don't give David the time of day. He's my roommate. He's just here to troll. He doesn't deserve the benefit of that. Let's set the engines down. Let's go ahead and get the external power, which I do how again? Oh yeah, I click on this guy, and we say external power, and we go external power on, and now we will cut the engines. I don't know why that turned off. Oh, there it goes. Oh, it's just switching over, I guess. Okay, that's cool. All right, so engines are shutting down. What is kind of cool? Let's play with this for a second. So we can set the mood lighting in the cabin apparently. Cabin lighting is on. Set it to blue. Yeah, so there's it's all bluish mood lighting in the cabin, and then we can set it to red. That's red mood lighting. That's cool. So you can have some fun during your transatlantic crossings or whatever it is, and change the mood lighting depending on what you want to do. You can have some fun with it. Let's see if we do this. I can look inside there. Ooh, it's like Hades in here. What is this? That's some serious mood lighting. Can you imagine if it was actually that overpowering in the real aircraft? I mean, oh my gosh, that'd be terrible. It's business class, first class up here, and the cockpit, which will look like poo by comparison until I do that. So, all right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for coming along today. This was a lot of fun to just kind of. I know I don't normally fly on Thursdays, and the reason is because it usually takes a while to get the system booted up and get a flight plan and then do it and still have some time to enjoy the evening.
Red light district.
Yes, absolutely. This plane's going to Amsterdam now. Oh, so yeah, it would be fun to do a 787 SFO to JFK flight. So some point we're gonna have to do that. Once I learn this plane a little bit better, we'll do some more flights in this thing. But yeah, I might start doing the trucking sim stuff. Hasn't been very popular on the Thursdays anyway, and Thursdays are so hit and miss because of my real world schedule. So I may just start doing some fun little flights on Thursdays. I'm actually looking at possibly getting X-Plane here in the near future, and if that did we roll forward?
Yeah, I've actually got it in
Yeah,
X-Plane 11. I like it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm looking at getting. I'd like to get it to experience it, and so if I do that, I actually was about to buy it, and then this thing came out, and I went, nope, we're getting that first. So if we do that, I might do some like GA stuff with X-Plane at least to start, and just kind of start uh, doing some GA streams and see how that goes. In addition to the heavy iron that we do on Fridays and Saturdays. Not that these planes are actually made out of iron, especially not this guy. This guy's mostly carbon fiber. Um, so yeah, so we'll try that. Tomorrow's Friday Night Ops, so we'll be online for the Friday Night Ops into Alaska. Like I said, I'm not sure where I'm starting yet. If you have any ideas on that, go ahead and put them in the comments, or you can tweet me, or Instagram me, or Facebook me. all are valid options. And if I like any of them, maybe I'll do them. If I don't, then I'll just pick something else and we'll go from there. And then Saturday is what's the what is it? I can't remember. Oh, it's Cal Scream, California Screaming. And so for that, I've actually got a booking. I'm going to be flying an American Airlines MD-80. At least that's my plan. It will be American Airlines MD-80 or 737. Depends on what I feel more confident with at the moment. Um, and that'll be from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, and this will be evening. So this Saturday will not be normal stream time. We'll not be streaming in the morning. We'll be streaming in the evening, Pacific. So because of CalStream. So it'll be either the MD-80 or the 737 from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, and then we're going to turn it around and do the flight back. So it'll actually be like a schedule where we have to do a turn and reset the flight plan and get back to LA. So we'll have full ATC for VATSIM for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of people going. I think David Rothmuller's flying a flight as well. I think I saw a number of other people said they signed up for it. So it should be a lot of fun. And yeah, we'll do that. So. All right, guys. Thanks so much. I will see you tomorrow. I'm going to go get some food. I mean, I already ate dinner, but I'm going to get a snack because I'm hungry. And I will see you later. But this was a lot of fun flying the 7-8 with you guys and just kind of learning the ins and outs of it. So if you guys like this, when we do new aircraft, I'll try to do this from now on and kind of do the first impressions like this and then go from there. So. All right, guys. We'll see you later, man. Don't forget to hit that follow button if you're on Twitch. If you are on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and definitely hit that like button. I would so much, very much appreciate it. And I will see you all tomorrow evening for Friday Night Ops on VATSIM. Have a good night.